So, just some dungeon keeping!
Haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. Okay, Jean Lemore casting mass suggestion to send everyone in the, send all of the cannon fodder home, basically. There's a lot of like online discussion around essentially the words in the spell where it says make the course, you have to make the course of action sound reasonable, because the debate is just basically what is reasonable. So I kind of had like a read of some of this stuff, and I think like probably when you cast the spell, you would need to include in the future maybe your reasoning for why the targets would do the thing that you're telling them to do. Like, so it can't be something that they would never dream of doing, as someone put it. I thought that kind of made sense. But I still think that otherwise, like, you know, if you can tell them a good reason why they should go home, like, it doesn't, I don't see anything in the spell that says that you can't do that. It's just like high-level D&D, it just starts getting silly. So I think it'll just be a case-by-case basis. Like, when you go to use that spell, we'll just have to, like, stop and just have a chat about, like, does this make sense? Like... Does this end the game?
Go home or I'll melt your head on top of a gold dune.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I do say he does make a spotted bit of difference. Yes, I do say, let's go home.
That does sound logical. The other thing was, actually, with Sentinel, there was a moment where you stopped Bitter Breath from moving, but then everyone still took their op attacks on against him anyway. And I wasn't sure what the deal. Like, can anyone? I remember this sort of came up with something before, where like, you know, like multiple people were taking op attacks, but then the first op attack killed the target, and then it was sort of like. Can the rest of the party then choose not to to spend their reaction? And I feel like I said they can. Do you guys remember my ruling on that? I couldn't actually find that.
It was yeah, I remember the discussion. Because
I remember talking about flogging a dead horse. And I feel like we landed on you can choose not to, but. Having had another think about it, I actually think that because technically everyone's turns are happening at the same time, probably what would need to happen really is that like at the moment where that creature is, this would be for Sentinel as well, like where Bitter Breath is like trying to move out of the square, he triggers an op attack and everyone declares whether they want to use their reaction. And then if the first one stops him from moving or kills him, everyone else has still spent their reaction anyway. So everyone else would still attack him. But if he died, also you would still spend your reaction. I think that's the only thing that makes sense to me after I had like a read of some things online. I don't know. Does that make sense to you?
I guess, yeah, it does, because you're like going for like the kind of like, stop it! Oh, he's already dead. Well, make sure.
Yeah, because there's no way also in the rules to like react, stop your reaction. Like you can't like what are you reacting to other than, I don't know, because it's all happening simultaneously as well. So I don't know, whatever my ruling was before, I feel like that's probably where I would go with that now.
I guess my only question on it is if he wasn't moving away, we wouldn't react to him moving away.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
So it makes sense for like him dying, we're stabbing into a dead body all at the same time to try to kill him. That makes sense, absolutely. But like, we're reacting to him moving away, but if he suddenly just doesn't move away, we wouldn't attack.
I feel like it's just the way, because the way that like an op attack, when it's like the way that it's triggered is as you're moving out of the square, but it says that the actual attack occurs just before the creature leaves the square. So theoretically, I guess it's sort of like it's the move towards and across the edge of the square, like which kind of makes sense, right? Because they're sort of the person is going like, whoa! Like, so they're distracted, they're kind of leaving themselves open, and that's the moment you hit them, like before they leave your range. So I guess, it still happens even though Bitter Breath is like prevented from moving. I think so. It's a little bit
makes
like
sense.
janky, that I guess, but The other thing is just a reminder that half cover gives you +2 to Dex, and 3/4 cover gives you +5 to Dex saves. I think we knew that in the past, but just a reminder because there was something that happened where we didn't do it for some reason. I reminded to myself as well. And also, you can't take an op attack with an unsheathed weapon. At one point, Jean Lemore op attacked with the +1 whip, which was cool, but I don't think you would have had that drawn, ready to go.
Just got all his tools just like waiting to start when he uses from hand. Like,
I'll hop with one foot and hold the
a
whip.
Whip in the foot.
each finger slot.
Oh yeah. I'll attach it to my wrist.
They're all just hanging. I'll make you some bands.
Hand, whip in mouth.
Maybe you whipped with your rat tail. +1 tail.
Yes.
I like that.
And I wanted to give inspiration to Mahkah for asking Mordenkainen if for a way to like deal with fire, and also for asking like about the history of the Pit of Shumrath. So yeah, that's that. And we are now in shift 4, and we're just approaching the plains of fire, and you're driving along in the Golden Doom, and you've encountered this tributary of what looks like blood running in the direction of where you know the river Styx to be. And there's this big iron bridge, rickety and rusty and old looking and very scorched, and across the other side of the bridge is the beginning of these plains of fire, not to be confused with the elemental plane of fire. That's plane, not planes. And you also have noticed that there's this iridescent putrescence on the ground, which kind of looks like a sort of a shimmering like mud or like oily kind of tarry substance maybe, and it appears to be the thing that that is flammable, that this fire is kind of firing upon. Yeah, what do you do?
Sorry, did you also mention which shift we're in at the moment? Just to recap there.
Shift 4.
Shift 4, thanks.
Does it look like the bridge will hold the doom? Does it look solid?
It looks pretty rickety. How do you try to determine that?
Just visually. Maybe I could like throw a stone at it.
Kensei could push Kensei out on it.
You can find a stone lying around, and as you go to pick up the stone, it's like extremely hot, like it burns your hands and you have to drop it. It's actually really difficult for you to throw it at the bridge. Even across this side of the bridge where there's no fire, the heat from these plains that just especially the ground itself is like hot to stand on. So you like drop this rock, but then you can kind of have a look at this bridge. You see basically like steam coming off it. Like it also looks extremely hot. And yeah, pretty rickety. Give me an insight check. You have a sense that, like, you just have a feeling that this bridge will hold. You feel like it's been here for a long time. It's weathered eons of fire and acid, and you feel confident. You also can try to pick up this rock again in some way in order to test it further.
I was gonna say, can I mage hand throw it?
Yeah, you can mage hand throw the rock onto the bridge.
Okay, I was gonna say, or we can use the decanter and pour a bunch of water on it down, and then throw it if it's too heavy. But yeah, you can
do either of those. We'll say you use the mage hand, and it sort of throws the rock onto this bridge, and it just and it seems pretty solid. It doesn't like move the bridge or anything.
Looks good. I believe in the bridge.
Sweet. Well,
Ethel floors it.
Yes,
Just kidding. Starts flooring it.
Okay, so we move across the bridge. So let's just burn 1 ichor to get here.
Mm-hmm.
And yep.
Sorry. I was going to say, before we head too far in, I was going to ask Kenway, is it worth sending Captain Bugsy a message? Maybe you can come along downstream, pick us up, and sail along the river Styx a bit further. So it's only a small section to dock in near the fortress.
I mean, definitely not a bad idea. I do like that idea, but I don't think the only issue is that I don't think the bobbing imp can hold any war machines, right? It was not that big.
Yeah, it's just like a caravel. So it sort of led the barge before, but it doesn't look like it would be able to hold the actual Golden Doom. Maybe a Devil's Ride.
Yeah, maybe a Devil's Ride, which is all the way back. So we would be going back on foot, and I don't think any of y'all could probably make it too long walking in the flames of fire. But do we want to? I think we discussed this slightly last session, but do we want to encompass the idea of having the decanter of endless water point at the front of the Golden Doom, just to continue spray water out in front?
Yes. Let's do that.
Yeah, can we try it and see what it looks like on the fields? Like, you know how sometimes if you put out the wrong fire with water, it's real bad? Can we test that quickly first?
Actually,
it's funny you say
far
that.
away from us.
Can we test it with a homunculi out in front?
I was gonna
Not
use
one of us?
hand.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Alright.
scoop some water and go dump it away.
You really want to kill the homunculi stick?
I'm
Yeah,
just
well,
curious.
Also,
He's mine. I'll kill him if I want to.
because of the way it was phrasing, I thought the homunculi was going to hold the decanter, and just because of how tiny they are, it was funny, which is like, it just like flies back.
I was gonna seed him in the jaws of the thing, kind of like sitting in like a backhoe scoop, kind of just like pointing it out the front.
Well, which thing do you do?
Good question.
I think the man first. It's fine.
Okay, so when you sort of carry a scoop of water over with the mage hand and attempt to douse some of these flames with the water, you do find that it is indeed like a cooking fire or an oil fire, and it seems that when you throw this water on the fire, that it causes it to actually like flame up and become even more aggressive.
Does the endless decanter do something like what else does it make?
No, it just does water.
Okay, just curious. I was wondering if it was like those other things.
I mean, maybe not like spraying it in front of us, but maybe at least having it just kind of like douse us, or at least kind of like around the war machine, so we don't kind of like just keep being hydrated and cooled by water on us, so we don't immediately roast.
Like we fill the deck.
We can.
Yeah, we just have a little pool.
Oh my god, hot tub!
Oh, great. Instead of being fried, we're boiled.
We're boiled. I was going to say, it smells like chicken's boiling in here. Spa day. Yay!
I think the real problem is just like if we were to do something like that, either the water would just heat up, or we'd have to continuously add water, and then it would eventually spill over and cause more fire. Even though I was thinking maybe for the person who can't handle the fire, you know, if we ever have to walk somewhere, is we could fill the galoshes with water. I'm just kidding. I think you'd also boil in there. You can overflow it.
So you haven't gone over the bridge yet, is that the idea? Or you're just on the other side of the bridge?
Yeah, I think
staring
so.
into these flames. Okay.
Yeah, I think just over.
If we start driving into it a little bit, what does like the Golden Doom seem like it's handling that heat okay, or is it like showing signs of burning?
how do you drive into a huge fiery plane a little bit?
Well, I was saying, you put the front in,
The
just a
front
little
end.
bit.
You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in.
Reverse if you need
So
to.
the flame is not just a wall of flame. It's kind of like it is on the map here, where there are just these patches of fire. So you can navigate around these patches of fire as best you can.
So I try not to drive directly to the flame. That would be the goal.
Can Mahkah have a look to see if there's any suitable path forward? Like if it's all pretty difficult, or a path of best that best suits the doom.
Yeah, give me a survival check for that.
That just reminds me. Last session, I rolled 2 ones in a row.
Oh yeah, I saw that as well. It looks like chaos out there. You feel like you're just not sure how you're gonna get through here. It feels like you might just have to hope for the best.
Well, buckle in. It's gonna be a long ride.
Does Ethel still have the wind fan? Cool us down.
or even in front. Possibly. What's the Golden Doom? Do we know what type of tires are on this beast?
I guess just big, thick, spiky wheels with. I guess they're just big rubber tires. They must be.
I'd want to be careful with literally fanning the flames if we're going to use the wind fan out. Seems like an interesting idea.
So it seems like we can sort of carefully drive through these little pockets of flames without.
Yeah, there are many
the
paths you can take to drive through here.
Okay.
You can navigate around these patches of fire. But, as you're looking in there, you see, sudden explosions where you see this tar kind of getting hot and kind of popping and spraying fire and ash across the path, and cinders flying around and hot winds blowing out from the flames and striking you in the face. So it seems like it will be a difficult journey, but you there's no reason why you don't get the impression you can't go through here.
Okay.
Am I exhausted?
Yes.
Okay, then maybe it would be nice if we took a little nap first, especially because we're coming up on our nap time, right? We normally do 5 and 6 shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we reverse over the bridge.
I was just gonna say, if I was just thinking maybe we could see if there's an active ship, to see if there's any trails of anyone taking a path. Because where we're going, they're storing something here, so maybe someone found something through here, I don't know.
I can do that on my shift because I don't have to sleep.
Oh yeah, no, okay.
If we have a full rest, then I can just do that during my downtime.
Oh, because Ethel was saying, we still have that 4. We're on shift 4. Or Kenway, we could do the active shift now, then the long rest. Will that work?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe see if we can find some more demon nectar just in case around here.
Okay.
Just in case.
So, active shift. Alright, so Alina Sentinel, Ethel Surveyor. Jean Lemore is seeking shelter or foraging.
Yep.
And Kenway's foraging for Ica.
Yep.
And Mahkah, you're like looking for tracks.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say surveying as well, like working with Ethel.
Okay.
Wait, so then we don't have a tracker?
Well, I think the track is for
Alina?
look for tracks in.
Unless it's survival, because he's probably better at survival than I am. Just.
Well, I think that's for if anyone's left tracks going to and from.
That's not what you
fortress.
That
isn't that. Yeah, I thought that's what we were.
I think that's what we want to look for.
See if anyone found like a path.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll take up the tracker position.
Okay. So there is no surveyor. So Ethel, are you just going to survey?
I actually think I might try to learn a spell if you can give me a moment. I'm looking at something.
Okay, no worries. So Jean Lemore, you're going to assist Kenway. Okay, cool. So Kenway. Where are we? Demon Ica. Give me Oh yeah, so more than one character can take this action, so you could also look for a different thing if you wanted to. But yeah, Kenway, give me a survival check.
You got it. Was it advantage?
I'm helping.
Okay, with advantage, but it's because you're in these planes of fire, it'll be with minus 5. Because it's very hard to see around here. There's a lot of smoke in the air and.
Okay. So -5 with advantage. Let's see if this works.
Yeah, you are unable to find any demon Ica, unfortunately. But Mahkah. So Mahkah, you're gonna look for tracks, or you?
Yes, I might use my map first as well.
Okay.
Cartographer's map.
All right. Go ahead and give me a perception check. DC 20.
Ooh.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, so you pull out a. This is interesting. You pull out a map that gives you a general route through this area towards the location of the wrecked flying fortress. And you also notice that it tells you that you need to sort of go up river along this second tributary river. And you feel that using this map, you'll be able to travel further than you would, or, quicker than you would otherwise.
Most
and it
definitely
also
pass
give you
that.
advantage on your navigation when you do that.
Nice.
But yeah, if you also want to track, give me a survival check. If you want to look for tracks. Unfortunately, you kind of have a look around, but it's just there's too much smoke in the air, just flames everywhere. You can't find any tracks. It doesn't look to you like any creature or any living thing has been through here for a long time.
I'll definitely pass on that other information to the team about that secondary river.
Huh.
Aha.
Good.
We're just gonna go upriver, and there's like a highway section of just like this large, like arching metal structure that's like, oh, Huh.
It says don't use other path. Yeah. Oh my god.
There's like a second like underpass that goes to that's in like that just leads to like one of those molten tar pits, and it just is out of order.
All right. So we'll move into shift 5, and if you want to take a long rest, just give me.
I was
Oh, you were learning a spell. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was gonna ask because I have to use a group money, because we're a commune. Is that I have the ability to learn fire shield, which feels like it would be useful, but it doesn't. I can't use it on anyone else, and it's only for 10 minutes. So I don't know if that's. It costs I think 200 gold. So I don't know if that's actually worth it or not, because it's just resistance to fire damage.
Where did you get that spell? Just out of curiosity, I don't remember that. Fire
It's.
shield.
Oh, did you not want to give me fire resistance? No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. I just don't remember. I was just curious.
Yeah. No, that's in there, and then
Where was it? Sorry.
there's maybe it's in Feanor's spell.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
The one that we got in session 40. Yeah.
Sweet.
So
Right.
I
Is that
could.
for- Is that one person?
Yeah. So I can't apply it to anyone else. And then the globe of invulnerability only applies to spell forces, right? So I couldn't just have a little globe that we put around ourselves.
Maybe
that's what
I
it
don't know if
says.
you might have to just look into the
Yeah.
spells that you want to learn, and otherwise we'll have to sit here for a while and like look them all up. I don't know.
That's what I'm doing right now, like frantically looking up. There's so many words in all of these.
I'm thinking maybe if you don't know which spell you want to learn, like maybe we should come back to it, if that's okay.
Yeah, well, I was saying, like, wow, that fire shield looks like it would be really useful, and then I can't tell if it'd be practically really useful or not.
Yeah, maybe give it a read. Let's all like take a long rest
Okay,
if you
yeah.
want to do that, and then you can always learn it later if you want to. So yeah, everyone, give me a 1, 2, and 3, just before you take the long rest. Oh, that's all right.
Sorry.
I mean, it's let me see. Yeah, nothing's going to happen in the night or in the whatever it is, in the continuity. And so you sleep for some time, and you wake, and you feel very hungry again. I take it you slept in the tiny hut?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And the only one that can roll for the save now is Ethel.
Thank gosh I don't lose my favorite part of the day. Oh wait, we have a +2 from Kenway, right?
Yep.
She's just over in the
I
corner
did not
trying to
hit
puke.
It's okay, listen. Not trying.
But yeah, otherwise you emerge from this tiny hut, and nothing has changed. The fire is still burning as it was when you closed your eyes. It's extremely
that.
hot. You wake up
We're
just
still in hell.
sweating. If you thought it was hot before, if you thought it was hell before, now it's hell within hell.
In the tiny hut, central heating
Oh, you're
and
right.
control cooling.
Yeah, you're right.
Perfect
It's
temperature,
temperate. So it's just as you emerge, you're like, oh, this is fucked.
Nope, go back in. Hold on.
Yeah.
Back in.
It's like going from the sauna to the pool or something.
Let's walk with the tiny hut.
We spend 10 minutes trying to drag a immovable magic dome.
Everyone
No,
pick up
guys,
a
we can
corner.
figure this out. If you,
Let's take our dome
get your fingers
and just
under there.
move it.
Okay, so what do we do in shift 1?
Let's make our way to that path, that secondary path that I found
Okay.
with the map.
These are my important rolls.
Okay, so if you want to take a travel shift, Mahkah, give me a survival
I would
check.
say, would we just follow the existing river that we're on until we come across it?
You can follow the river if you wish. Your map doesn't tell you to. I mean, that would be a much slower way of traveling, but you could do that. Which way would you go along the river?
I guess it depends how far this secondary option was, really.
That's on this tributary over here. So, because you have another river in front of you.
Yeah.
And so your map seems to suggest that you would need to like go further up river, like towards the Avernian mountain range.
Oh, okay.
That's the Avernian mountain range, guys.
I'll ask the team. Which way would you like to go?
I fear we should listen to the map. Otherwise,
Don't listen
we
to
would
me.
get lost.
I'm just a map.
Oh my god, it talks.
What? Didn't you know that? No, sorry. In the module, the map actually does talk, but I didn't like it.
I
So
shouldn't have been so rude and not talk to it. Like,
it's just been giving you the cold shoulder all this time.
All of a sudden, this program
consider it
becomes a
not
lot
talking
like.
to
All of a sudden, the program becomes a lot like Dara, like map.
All right. What are we doing? We're gonna be here for 12 sessions instead of 6.
Follow the map.
Okay, which point do you want to go towards? Well, I suppose if you're following this map, I mean, the map it's a little bit vague. It's just that it's going to kind of give you a route that you feel is a little bit quicker, safer through this area, avoiding sort of hills and mountains and certain treacherous areas where there are like canyons and things. And it's told you that you could kind of go upriver on that second tributary, but it hasn't given you. It's not that specific in terms of like, you'd still just need to choose which point you want to go to. But also, did you give me a nature check, Mahkah, for the navigation? No,
not yet. Survival.
Fuck. Why do I do that every time? 19. Okay. 19. Where am I? Yes, that seems okay. You feel that you can navigate confidently through here, somewhat at least. All right. So which point do you want to move to? Oh, you might be on mute, Mahkah.
Thanks. I was just getting a bit confused earlier where the start of this safer part of the map is. Is it towards the southern end down here to come across this mountain range? Is that what you meant?
Magic map doesn't. It saves you time. It basically mechanically gives you an extra hex that you can move per shift. It's just kind of given you a way through these flames, and it's also told you that there's a safer crossing further up on the second tributary. But otherwise, like you still need to sort of just determine which point you want. Yeah.
Okay. Team, any suggestions?
Don't hit the fire.
Okay. We'll just make our way cautiously towards that point.
Which point is that?
Sorry.
That
way. So right. Like easterly, southeasterly.
Okay, so we'll just do one point at a time. Sorry.
Yeah. So also, probably suggest to Ethel to wet some hash and sacks, like JR mentioned earlier, just so we can wrap them around ourselves to keep us cool and as possible.
Okay.
Mark will pass around wet hash and sacks.
So as you drive, these sacks, basically the water in them evaporates extremely quickly. It's very hot in here.
Damn.
But we'll say that it lasts at least for a little bit of time. As you're driving through in this direction, leaving the bridge behind you, and you're just sort of navigating these flames leaping at you from all sides, trying to drive through the areas of the ground where you don't see any of this flammable putrescence. Suddenly, you drive too close to this patch of flame, and there is just this sudden burst as this flame just kind of explodes outwards and envelops the vehicle. So everyone, give me a.
Sorry.
Oh, because you're driving.
I thought we could get farther than that. Yeah. Thought it was fine.
So everyone, give me a dex save.
1 add a +2.
Oh.
And the DC is 15.
Wait, what?
But actually, you're in the vehicle, so you'll have cover.
I'm like,
Okay.
how did Mahkah pass and then Lena fail? Like, what's
I was gonna say, I was like, I think I'm having a stroke. Okay.
Where are you sitting, Jean Lemore? Just in a passenger seat?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that you will still fail because you would only have half cover, I believe. So
Okay.
you take some fire damage.
Oh.
4 fire damage. And also it is extremely hot as you're driving through here. You just can feel yourself cooking despite these watery rags around your head. So everyone give me a con save. And you have disadvantage if you're wearing medium or heavy armor. But if you're resistant to like heat, then you're immune. So Kensei, Kenway, you're fine.
I'm perfectly content here.
But I'll say that I'll lower the DC a little bit. The DC would be 10. I'll lower it to 9 because of these watered rags.
Ethel is an old lady, so she's just cold all the time. So she's actually also loving it here. So like,
That's a valid point there.
Warms her bones. Why did Alina have disadvantage?
Don't I have medium gear?
Oh, right.
Is it leather
sweet.
medium?
No, leather's light.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was medium. That's why I take a guess, and people just usually I get dungeon keeping.
You get dungeon keeped.
I get dungeon kept when I do things wrong.
All right. So it looks like nobody failed. So where do you go to next? Which point? I guess if you're going in that direction, I'll just move you to the next point.
Yeah.
So as you go down here, as you drive down here, this cloud of fiery embers descends on the vehicle, blowing out at it's like a swarm of, almost looks like insects, just kind of comes out of left field, just envelops the vehicle, comes like straight in, all amongst you within the vehicle as well. So everyone give me, so you automatically take 1d4 fire damage. And everyone give me a Dex save DC 18. But I'll say that you have cover because of the vehicle.
Okay. Quick question.
So is that
The fact how you rule it when someone's resistant of damage, but they damage is 1 damage.
Oh, no damage.
Okay. Just checking.
How much is half cover again for Dex?
+2.
Sorry.
+2 for the Dex save.
Thank you.
That's all right. And let me see. So the helm. So Ethel, you have 3/4 cover. So it's +5.
Well,
The
I'm having a
chomper
bad
is
day.
only half cover. The wrecking ball is half cover. The harpoon fling is a half. Yeah. So it's basically everything is half cover except the hull, and I'll say the passengers as well. So everyone gets +2 except for Ethel, who gets +5. And if you failed DC 18, then you are blinded for the next event. The next event that occurs.
Mahkah's blinded.
Someone take
also
the wheel. Someone take the wheel.
But we do have those Hessian sacks around. Like, no.
No, I guess assuming that you're wetting them every time, I'm going to give you, because you now need to make a con save for this extreme heat again, and I'll drop it from DC 10 to DC 9 because of the wet Hessian sacks. So everyone give me a con save as well.
Mark is like, guys, he did quick calculations. We've moved 2 spots, and we've got probably about 25 more points to go. It's literally a slow burn.
Ooh.
I let my homunculi take over the wheel, take over driving, because I can't see. Or am I all the way blinded? Or
Wait, I thought you were
the next thing.
Oh
no,
shit.
no, I got a 9. Even with the +5, that
With the
is
plus,
not- yeah.
Okay, and did anyone fail the con save? Doesn't look like it.
Yes, Mahkah did.
DC 9?
Oh, no, sorry. No,
Sweet.
that's fine. I didn't think it was, yeah.
Okay, we'll move another point over to here. And... Ooh, there is another Ember Swarm that you drive through. They're just coming from left and right. So everyone give me well, you take the 1d4 fire damage. So 3 fire damage.
I'll take 1.
Just 1, yep. And give me another dex save, please.
So if I'm blinded, what do I do? Worse? Is it with disadvantage?
I don't think it. I don't think so. For maybe
Okay.
actually.
I feel like if you couldn't see, it'd be hard to move out of the way of something.
It's.
I mean, no, I feel like it wouldn't do anything.
It doesn't have an effect on dex saves.
Okay.
Ow! What? Why am I rolling so good for dex saves? Wait a minute. Okay, how are me and Mahkah rolling so good for dex saves? What is going on?
What is happening?
Okay, so Ethel is
That's it,
blind
Mahkah.
again.
We gotta take the help.
I'm blind again.
Jean Lemore's blind. It's DC 18. It looks like Alina's blind.
Oh wait, that's without the cover from the helm. So do I still have +5 to that?
Okay.
Or?
Yeah. You
Sick.
can add.
Cool.
Ethel can add
Shoot
+5,
in.
and everyone else can add +2.
I already added my +2.
Okay.
I'm blind as a bat.
Okay, and everyone give me a con save DC 9 as you continue to try to bear this extreme heat.
This has a +2 from Kenway as well, right? All the saving throws? Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Ooh.
Nope. Oh wait, no, DC 9? Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
And we'll move. You can now probably move along this river. So as you drive up to this river, I'll say that you see what looks like another bridge in the distance. Actually, we've also used like probably 1, 2, 3. Oh no, where did we come through? Like 1, 2, maybe another 3 acres. Actually, I better just keep track of the. Okay, you see what looks like another bridge in the distance, and you can kind of head towards it, although Mahkah, you note that this doesn't look like the location where your magical map is telling you where to go, but you do also think that it's probably a good idea. You know, this second tributary is a clear landmark that you might be able to use to sort of navigate through here. And as you drive closer to what looks like a bridge, you discover that, in fact, the bridge has crumbled into this tributary river, leaving like only the foundations on either side. This river is about 20 feet across here and probably like 15 feet down from the embankment to the river's edge. There's like a small river's edge that's down below. And you can see down below there more of what looks like this boiling, bubbling, bloody, sort of acidic, steaming liquid, probably coming from these like volcanic mountains. You can also see from where you are, actually you wouldn't be able to see the mountains. It is too smoke, the sky is too smoke filled. But yes, so this bridge doesn't... You can't cross this bridge. What do you do?
Maybe if we follow the river, there might be more bridges upstream.
Mahkah, my only person that could see! Our navigator! Where do we go from here?
Ah, yes.
I mean, the Doom's a beast.
Yeah, like your map does say it's that there is somewhere you think that somewhere further upriver makes sense.
Let's follow this until we. I think this is a safer spot to cross in the southerly direction.
It's a good thing you had that magic map, because otherwise you would have encountered this bridge and just had no idea. So it's good. It's good you used that. I wasn't sure what you guys were going to do about it, like. But I did think, like, if only you had a teleporter on the golden. Okay, so you're gonna follow the bridge. So we'll move you to the next point. So that's one more Ica. And
Mahkah's like, guys, hang in there.
Okay, there is another burst of flame. So everyone, give me another Dex DC 15 Dex save.
And so do we get +2/+2? So Kenway and...
Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Oh, I haven't... Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to
anyways. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
I'm fine,
It
but
should be
everything's
mostly fine, like...
Everything's okay. I'm just on fire and blind. Just another day.
Just another day.
I can picture that meme of that dog in that house.
Did I roll the wrong
Everything's
thing?
fine.
I absolutely did.
Okay.
Why did I roll Constitution? Hold on.
Did anyone fail DC 15?
Yes, Mahkah.
Did you add the plus? It doesn't look like you added any.
+2.
Wait, but you also get another +2.
So you should have +4, basically.
I'll be 14.
DC's... Oh, okay. No, you'd be 16, wouldn't you? You get 2
I've
from...
already added one +2.
And you get another +2 from Kenway.
Yeah, so I just added one +2, so another +2 will just be 14.
Oh, you already added the +2. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, one of the lots, yeah.
Okay, cool. So anyone that failed that just takes 1d6 fire damage. And also, everyone give me a con save. DC 9 if you still have these wet Hessian sacks.
Embers splashing on Kenway's face. mildly annoying, but apart from that.
Okay, nobody failed DC 9. So, we'll go to the next point as we move into this hex. And as you're driving along this river, you can see that it is becoming shallower. This sort of elevated embankment is sort of lowering as you drive along. And the width of the river also is becoming less wide. And so... Okay, as you drive through here, just suddenly the wind picks up and just these violent, scorching winds just blow from upriver. And just, you can, as you're driving, Ethel, you can almost feel this vehicle kind of like lurching and being like pushed back a little bit. Like the wind is extremely strong. It's, some of you, especially like Jean Lemore, you feel almost like you're going to be blown out of the vehicle.
Jean Lemore, are you wearing your seatbelt?
I do not know.
So you each take 3 fire damage. Or 1 for Kenway. And give me another dex save. And you should mostly have +4, except for Ethel, who has +7. DC 13.
Wow.
Okay, so Ethel and
brutal.
Jean Lemore, you were like knocked prone essentially, like knocked back in your seats. Like Ethel, like you like let go of the wheel. I guess the homunculi are still driving, so that's okay.
Homunculi take the wheel.
And also give me a con save, just Jean Lemore and Ethel, because you are knocked back into the vehicle pretty violently by this wind.
Mahkah failed as well.
Also,
okay.
Also Kenway as well.
Okay, sweet. So everyone that failed also give me a con save. DC 10. Fuck.
I was rolling really well for a while, and it's time that this happens.
Anyone that fails DC 10 is knocked unconscious. You knocked unconscious as you're basically blown back into this vehicle and just like smash your head on some like metal piece of the vehicle.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Mahkah rolled a 1, but ended up to be 10. Is that still automatic fail?
No, you pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a moment, Mahkah's just stuck back on his shell and he can't get up. And he's embarrassed.
I feel like you would take the fall damage at least from the shell. You'd be all right.
Yeah.
I just picture just like Jean Lemore and Ethel just get flung back first, and then fuck, and then Kenway Mahkah just like slam on them, like fall on them, and that's why they're unconscious. Fuck, oh shit.
Oh, excuse me.
Mahkah, we got a problem.
Okay, but despite that, these homunculi keep driving unfazed, and they drive straight through another fucking ember swarm. So another cloud of these fiery embers descends on the party. Everyone takes 1d4 fire damage, and give me a dex save. Everyone has +4 for the dex save, except Ethel has +7.
Am I still unconscious?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Do I just fail that immediately?
So unconscious, when it comes to a dex save, you automatically fail.
Oh dear.
So you are blinded in your sleep. Lucky you have this homunculi. Otherwise you'd be like driving into the river probably.
Oh.
All throughout this, the Modron just sits in the back seat, just like staring out the window, completely disinterested. Okay, and also
like
everyone give me...
a sullen teenager on a road trip.
Oh, nice. I wish I'd said that. That was really good. All right. And also, because of the extreme heat, everyone give me another con save, DC 9, if you have these wet cloths. But if you are unconscious, I'm going to say you don't have... You have been... Actually, Ethel, being asleep, what do people do in order to continue to wet these cloths?
We wet them for them, I guess, right?
I guess you can just pick up
Use the decanter?
Yeah, you can use the decanter. I guess you can do that. You got the time to do that. So everyone, it's still DC 9.
Can we use the decanter just to kind of like douse them so we can try to give them try to make them wake up? Like, come on! Get up! Come on!
Yeah, I'll say you can wake them up by spraying them with the decanter, sure. But they're still blinded.
And anyone I've done that dex. Sorry. I'm like, what? That can't be that low.
Okay. Okay, sweet. Nobody's failing a con save. That's good. Alright. Move on to the next point. Come on, give me something different. Better not be another fucking ember swarm. Ooh, okay. Now, as you drive along here, you think that you're driving through this kind of clear path, or at least you sort of look up and it appears as though these homunculi are driving. Like, there's one of them on the pedals and kind of like looking up at this one that's like on the wheel, a couple of them sort of turning the wheel. You think that they're kind of guiding the vehicle through what looks like a clear path, but suddenly a massive patch of flame, like a storm of flame, just sort of comes out of nowhere and completely engulfs the vehicle. So give me, it comes at you, we'll say. So everyone give me a perception check. Give me a group perception check. As this thing suddenly, well, the thing is that nobody's driving.
Well, if I was awoken, would I go back to the wheel? Like,
you're blind. You're blind.
Oh, right. Never mind. Definitely not driving.
Mahkah would still be up front next to Ethel.
Okay.
Do I have to give a perception check if I'm blind?
No.
Oh.
You don't see this. You just feel the heat bearing down on you. Let me think. Maybe the homunculi. Give me a perception check from one of the homunculi, and Mahkah, if you feel that you would jump to the wheel, give me a dex check.
I'll give it a go.
Okay, this slime homunculi doesn't see shit.
He can barely see over the wheel.
Who's driving this thing? Ethel, if you're here, who's driving? And it's just like...
Ethel's just like, they got it, they're good. They're really smart.
Unfortunately, Mahkah, you jump at the wheel, but you're unable to get there in time, and this firestorm does engulf the vehicle. So everyone is going to take quite a lot of fire damage from this one.
Shit.
Yeah, that's not too bad. 6 fire damage, 3 for Kensei.
Oddly inconvenient.
I thought you were gonna say like 40. I was like...
Mahkah, now that you're at the wheel, give me a dex check with the Golden Doom itself to see if you can like drive out of this firestorm.
Oh, with Golden Doom, okay.
Yeah.
Just calling up.
And you should add your proficiency with dex, which I don't think is going to be very good.
Excuse me?
Oh, no, it's alright. +1. Sorry.
That's a +1. That's a plus.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Ability check, or was it same?
Check.
Check, yeah.
I mean, assuming this is what you're trying to do. Okay.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, so as you drive to this next point, this firestorm is just all around you, and you try to drive out. You sort of drive a little bit away from the river and try to sort of get out of this fucking thing, but you can feel your flesh just cooking as this flame is just still all around the vehicle. So everyone receives another 2d6 fire damage.
Oof.
Oddly inconvenient.
And everyone give me a con save, DC 9. At this point it's DC 10 because I'm going to say that this has well and truly scorched away all of the water on your Hessian sacks.
Am I back in the... am I in the helm still?
So you are probably at this point waking up. Mahkah is like kind of leaning over you, like steering this wheel, desperately trying to get the vehicle out of this storm. So I'll say that, yeah, you can still have the +7 because you're kind of sitting there.
Thanks.
Wait, is this Constitution or Dex?
Con save.
Oh, okay. Wait. So why the +4? +7?
Oh, sorry. You're absolutely right. That was completely wrong. You have the +2 from Kenway, but you don't get the... Thanks,
Okay. That's okay. I will reroll.
Anyone that fails DC 10 has 1 level of exhaustion, but I don't think anyone's failing.
Oof.
Okay. And we'll move to another point as you continue driving down here, and you are at this point able to drive out of this hectic firestorm. And this river is getting ever shallower and ever narrower. And you have to navigate another burst of flames as you begin approaching this part of the river that looks like you actually could drive. It looks more like a brook or like a creek, where there's this sort of the embankment has lowered, and now the river is only maybe like kind of 12, 15 feet wide, and it's just full of these like steaming rocks and stones and this kind of bloody acid sort of trickling around it, and you feel that you might be able to drive the Golden Doom directly over the river at this point. But as you drive down here, you are lapped at by another burst of flames. So everyone give me another dex save. And you do get your +7 or +4. And it's DC 15.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Okay. And give me a con save. DC 9. You can wet these rags again.
These sacks have been used heavily today. These are gonna be charred black by the end of the session.
Ooh.
Okay,
So
well
Ethel, you
that's
have an
upsetting.
additional level of oh no, because you slept before, so you just have one level of exhaustion.
Gotcha.
Do you drive over this creek bed?
If it's safe to do so.
It looks as safe as you're gonna get.
Yeah, the way we're going.
Okay, so you can drive over it to here.
How many points have we gone? Sorry, I haven't been keeping
I
track.
also stopped keeping track. Let's say probably from where I was keeping track, I had a 2. I'll say like 4,
Okay.
5 maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably 5 in total.
Thank you.
Yeah, I never get it was unconscious there for a little bit, so it's understandable if we lost track. or
Yeah.
Ichor Keeper. Not Navigator, Ichor Keeper.
Okay,
Bad question.
as you drive over the creek, you come into an area of these fiery plains that seems a little bit easier to traverse. Some of the flames, these kind of patches of flames, are a little bit further across, and you feel a bit more confident driving through here. So we'll move 2 points at a time. So, probably another Ember Storm. Ooh, 3. Okay, as you drive over to this part and sort of move into this hex, not that you know what the hell a hex is, you see what you saw when you were sort of looking into the plains of fire from outside, which is that it looks like there's this large patch of this kind of tar-like shimmering substance, and in the heat, this big bubble kind of wells up in it and just poof, and all of this tar like just goes flying all over the vehicle. It's just basically you just see all this flame coming at you. It's just this burning oil and gunk. So everyone give me a dex save again, DC 13. Lots of dex saves.
One level of exhaustion is only ability checks?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, looks like no one failed. But...
I
Oh, did you?
No, I was saying I rolled so well, nothing can hit me.
Okay, and so we'll move another 2 points as you head in this direction. And everyone give me a con save DC 9 for the extreme heat at this point.
Oh, do I get cover for this too? Because we're like...
No,
okay.
just
Then I
because it's
fail
a
that one.
con save.
Yeah.
You failed that one. Okay, so you have another level of exhaustion.
Oh, great. Guys, maybe I shouldn't be driving anymore.
Okay. So now that your speed is halved, but that doesn't really matter while you're in this vehicle. Okay, we'll continue driving along here, and you begin to see this large structure looming ahead. Kind of through the smoke, you can see the top of this towering structure. It's still a little bit too hard to see. It looks like some sort of massive building or something, but based on where you think you are and Mahkah's map, you're pretty sure that this is the wrecked flying fortress. But it's still hot and there are still flames everywhere. You're nearly there. Scorching winds, you're hit by another blast of these heavy winds. So everyone takes 1d4 fire. As these winds also just, you inhale them and they just burn you from the inside. You just can feel your lungs burning. So you take 2 fire damage, and everyone give me a dex save again. DC 13.
So is that 6 damage in total?
Oh, did I roll it twice?
There's a 2d4 and a 1d4.
It's the 2 damage. The 4 damage was from the previous thing, I think.
Okay.
What?
Okay, if you fail DC 13, give me a con save. Kensei, you can have advantage on this, but because it's so extremely hot, I'm still going to say this is an issue for you, but you can have advantage.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm confused. Is that with what was the pluses on that? Was that 4 with the dex?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so Mahkah got a 15.
Actually, sorry, Kensei, Kenway. It's just it wouldn't be advantage. This is not. This is because you're getting knocked prone by the strength of this wind. So I'll just take the.
Oh, it's the same roll.
Nice. That's easy. Okay, you pass. You managed to hold on, and you can continue driving towards this wrecked flying fortress.
Talk about one hell of a bumpy ride. Oh.
How many acres? Sorry.
That was another 5 acres.
Okay, thank you.
All right, roll call. Who's not dead?
Jail doesn't sound
good.
So, this towering wreck rises nearly 100 feet from the scorched hellscape before you. It looks like a giant sword blade, and it's kind of tilted to like a 20-degree angle approximately. And it's just buried partly in the sands. And you can see that much of its exposed hull is rusted and torn asunder. Hot winds scream through this object, which is hollow, and it just makes this very eerie sound as the winds just sort of tear through here. The whole area, you can hear this. And you can see also, as you look up to the top of this thing, that there appear to be some giant vulture-like creatures circling high above it. I think you asked Bell, I think it was Bell, if he knew of any creatures that might be in this area. This is also a pretty demon-infested area, and they remind you of Threshi, the Vrock that you encountered on the Crown of the Tempest, but you can't be sure from this distance. This thing is probably about like 100 feet above the ground, and you don't know how much of it would be below ground. But yeah, it just looks like this sort of giant, almost like a giant sword in the ground. Actually, do I have a handout for this? Nope. I just have an empty handout. I intended to have a handout. You'll see what it looks like in the next session. But as you drive up to this thing, you can see that there are several. It's very damaged, and there's this one like massive hole in the hull near the at the ground basically, and you can see these creatures standing there motionless like guards, and you're still pretty far away, so you can't tell what they are, but you can also see what appears to be another large hole that is torn into the side and also into the roof or the top of the hull of this thing at the top level, 100 feet up. And along the length of this massive structure, there are also several smaller holes that are sort of, 10 feet up, 20 feet up. But that's all you can see from this distance.
Roughly how far away would you think we are from this point?
Far enough away that you wouldn't feel like these sort of motionless guards would see you. So maybe 100 feet away, 80 feet.
Okay. All right.
I could do some arcane eye investigation.
How is everyone health-wise?
I wouldn't say Ethel's looking good.
All right.
I would say that Ethel is squishy. Not even that much damage.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Because, if you want to do the arcane eye investigation, and we want to take some time, I can cast a spell that allow me to heal everyone, but it was a 10-minute casting time.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I would say Ethel wouldn't be against that. She's also looking a little tired,
All right.
Yeah, I'll cast arcane eye. Let's start looking around.
All right. While she does that, I will take time to cast Prayer of Healing.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you cast this arcane eye and you send it towards this fortress. Where do you guide it? I guess as this eye kind of sends you these images in your mind, and it flies towards the fortress, you can see that these guards, there are 4 of them, and you recognize them as Merregons, these sort of lifeless-looking, almost robotic creatures where most of their body appears to be made out of some kind of metal, and even their heads are just made out of this metal, and seem to have no kind of moving parts on their face. It's just like a solid mask of some kind, and they're just standing there motionlessly with these halberds. Where do you take the eye after that?
I want to look for ways that we can get in that aren't maybe directly guarded. So you said there's a big old hole near the top?
Yeah, so let me just see actually with these Merregons, just before we move on. Okay. Yeah, so there is this massive hole at the bottom, where the ground is, that the Merregons are guarding, and then there's another massive tear in the hull right at the top, and also some of the roof is missing. And then there are these smaller holes in the hull sort of leading up to that part of the roof.
Mm-hmm. So do I see any way that I think maybe we could feasibly sneak in? I don't know, is there a back door hole,
If the eye flies around, the back of this fortress, you can see that there's no other hole at ground level, but there are more of these small holes along the back part of the structure as well.
All right. And then can I send the eye in through one of the holes, see what the inside of it looks like?
Okay, so you send the eye through one of these holes, and you can see this dark set of passageways and rooms in here. There are chambers that look like living quarters, prisons. You see all kinds of strange, what looks to you like, you could only describe it as like some kind of machinery, or almost like panels of you don't know what these objects are, but seeing as you can see them, the player would recognize this as like panels and like electrical consoles and things. And you can. It's a pretty big area. There's just these on each. You can sort of fly around on this one level that you've entered here. You see this sort of main like hall stretching down the middle of this area. The whole thing is slanted as well to the right, and there are all these rooms kind of leading off this central passage. You would need to take a closer look if you wanted to find anything more out about these rooms, or if there's any way to move from this area to a higher level.
Yeah, I'm essentially, since Arcane Eye lasts for an hour, so I want to try to look essentially for a route. We're picking up the weird rods here, right?
Yep.
If I can find a way, essentially to those, that would be great. So I'm briefly looking to try to find, like, I'm not going to spend a long time investigating individual rooms, but I will try to look to find the best way through this building.
Okay. As you move the eye through here, you can see that it looks like it looks like the place has been sort of stripped. Even like heaps of the metal has been like torn off the walls. Just anything that looks like it could have been some sort of like of some value has been torn out of here. But you also see, as you're flying through here, as this eye, these strange creatures kind of moving around very slowly. You see some of them sticking to the walls, and some of them on the floor, and even some of them on the ceilings, and they look essentially like just these like large snail-like creatures. Yeah, they basically look like large snails, but on their backs, instead of a shell, they have what appear to be bones. Very strange-looking, warped, bone-like structures. And you can even see within some of these bones what looks like maybe some kind of human bones, as if these creatures have like incorporated all kinds of dead creatures into their bodies. And they're just sort of moving around as snails do, but they're really big, just kind of along the floors and the walls. And as you fly through here, you see one large room to one side, which seems to be just kind of open. There's some sort of sliding door or something that is open. And as you fly the eye into that chamber, you can see that it is basically just this large square, vertical, like chamber that just appears to go all like you can see it just going far up and far down, like a shaft is the word I was looking for. It's an elevator shaft or something similar to that. You also find, as you look around here, some kind of pretty large pipe, like a circular, maybe like 5-foot pipe of some kind that appears to be going from the floor to the ceiling. And there's like a hatch on the side of this pipe that you feel like would give you access to that as well. Those are probably the two things that you would identify as potentially being a way to go up or down.
Mm-hmm. Can I send the eye down and see what it's like down there?
Okay, so you send the eye down, I guess just down this shaft.
Mm-hmm.
As you look down further, it just all the way down, it seems to just be repeats of the same kind of setup. You don't see anything different about it. There's just more of these rooms with this central passage, except it gets smaller and smaller as it goes down. Again, almost like the blade of a knife. But otherwise, everything down here is just stripped. It's just dark. There are these like cables essentially hanging from the walls, you just see more of these strange snail things, but otherwise nothing else.
All right, then can I send it all the way to the top and see what's up there?
So it goes...
I don't know how fast this eye moves.
It goes up this shaft to as far as it can go to the top of the shaft. It let me see. Yeah, it goes to the top of the shaft and kind of it encounters like another one of these doors. All of these doors seem to be open. Maybe this one is, just sort of partially open, like it's been rent open. And you can fly through this open elevator door and look around this area, which looks like it's the largest of all of these decks, but it doesn't seem like it is the top level, because you can see from the ground that there's this huge hole in the side of the ship, and you don't see that hole here. And you can't work out how to get further up from this point.
Alright, then can I fly out and head into the hole from the top and see what the room looks like that it leads to?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking actually...
Are there windows in these rooms?
No.
Like, I guess you said there's a lot of holes everywhere, but...
Yeah, you see just, various tears in the hull that you can look back out onto the Avernian landscape through, but no windows as you would know them. And I'm just trying to think if you can see what looks like, I believe, sorry, where am I? You can see, actually, before you leave this area, you can see like some kind of hatch in this level that is sort of as high as you can go in the ceiling, and there's like a ladder leading up to this hatch. So it looks like there would be a way to go up that way to get to the level above, but you can't access it with the eye. But you can fly down a level perhaps and find another hole in the hull here and fly out of that, and then sort of circle around and up to this top level. And fly in through this huge hole in the hull at the top. And you see up here these Vroks. That you can clearly see that they're Vroks, just like Threshi, these demons, giant sort of carrion-like beasts sort of circling around the top of this ship. But you're able to sort of fly through that area without being seen or anything, and kind of have a look around in here. And in this area, you see... It's difficult because there are a bunch of locked doors that you're not able to get through. But you see, I'll say up here, another one of these Merregons standing at one of these doors. And do you want to explore this level thoroughly? You said you weren't going into any of the rooms, really.
Yeah, since this one seems a little more important, and any rooms that I can get into, I'd like to take a look around.
Yeah, so this level is like clearly to you like the bridge. It looks, with your limited knowledge of futuristic kind of spaceships and such, you think this is like definitely some sort of control center. Instead of having this sort of central passage that has all these rooms of it, it has this one like large area, this one large like bridge area with much more of these consoles, and then there are sort of rooms around the edges, and you can fly the eye into some of these areas where you just kind of see this equipment. The door behind the Merregon is closed, and there's another door where you can see it's kind of been like pulled open slightly. And if you fly in there, you see in the dark a strange creature that is like kind of sitting in the corner, gnawing on a bone. It almost looks like a hyena to you, this creature, but it is bipedal. And it's just kind of sitting there, and it's like shaking its head, like almost kind of like muttering it to itself, chewing on this bone. And you can also see in this room this big machine and these two locked crates. Two locked chests. They look like chests. Iron chests.
Huh. Alright, I guess I can still talk to the rest. I think I can still talk and hear the rest of the party while I'm looking around with the eye. I think I just can't see.
I think so.
Or actually, maybe I can't.
I think
see.
you can even see.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell everyone what I've seen so far. Say like, I think we have a fairly good layout of the place. There's a weird hyena guy. This place is bizarre, and I'm pretty sure I know where we're supposed to be going because it's where another guard is, but is there anything else anyone would like me to look for?
This place is pretty weird. I'm like, you think?
You can give me an intelligence check as well if you would like to. I try to identify this hyena thing. Probably maybe a... what is this thing? Hold on.
What is it? What art thou?
I guess just probably a history. Wait, no, hold on. I guess, yeah, history check.
Okay. Also I would have disadvantage on that, not that it matters, because I have 2 levels of exhaustion. So
you cannot for the life of you recall what this thing is.
What the hell is that?
I mean, with a 10, I mean... roll again for disadvantage. I just want to see. Because this would be something that would be quite easy to identify, actually. You know what? I think like 10 is fine. This is not going to be a hard thing to identify. You think this is a gnoll. Which is, yeah, like a humanoid sort of creature that you know is associated often with demons, and you can't remember much more than that for a 10. But the word gnoll comes to your mind.
They'll just mutters Noel and then no more information because this is like the only time she's ever been this not knowledgeable.
The fuck is a gnoll?
Gnoll.
Gnoll.
Gnoll. Gnoll. Alright, I think that's all I have to look for.
Hey Lulu, what the fuck is a gnoll?
Gnolls are a race of humanoid, sort of dog-like creatures that they're known to worship the demon lord Yeenagu.
Yeenagu.
Yeah, Yeenagu.
I'm sorry, Yeenagu?
Yeah, Yeenagu.
I swear.
No, who?
That's
It's
my favorite name
strange.
we've heard so far.
The more we know about these kind of like demon lords, the funnier and funnier their names become, I swear.
It could. Some people say Yeenagu. It could be Yeenagu.
Yeenagu?
You know, it's.
Lulu kind of frowns though. She's like,
You know, it's strange. I feel like I've. It's strange that Yeenagu comes up because I feel like that might be who we were at war with long ago during the ride. I think that there were many. I can kind of picture these creatures coming into the fields of the dead through the portal. And I think Yeenagu was in charge of the demonic armies that we faced. I can kind of picture it.
Huh.
Well, that makes it less fun.
Yeah.
Just like evil and no war, I guess.
I don't think it's fun.
I mean, progress. At least something. All right, so, like, where? So you just looks at. So it's going to be at the top of that thing. Just looks at the wrecked fortress. Oh, shut up! There are skull snails in there. We're not gonna have fun.
Yeah. Nah, Alina's got a mountain gear ready to go. All braced up.
Oh, fuck that! I'm going in the bottom.
You're going in the what?
I'm going down there. I don't care if it's guarded. I ain't climbing up that thing.
I think you missed
I'll find the stairs.
There's nothing wrong with going in the bottom.
I think Ethel might need a nap, or Ethel's gonna need help. Just go in now.
Let me see if I can give you any help.
Well,
how much healing did we get?
I haven't rolled it yet because I didn't want to roll if we got interrupted at some point. Because it is so much
tough.
Yeah, it is.
You can only sleep it off.
Yeah. Well, it's either you sleep it off or high-level healing magic. So that sucks. But would 10 minutes have passed, at least, for me to pull off the prior feeling?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I believe Lulu has a thing that if anyone takes health back, it's like an additional D4, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll add that to the roll. All right, so everyone gets 18 hit points back.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, I'm back to full.
How's everyone feeling?
I'm
A
good.
lot better. Still a little sleepy.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
Maybe someone can give Ethel a piggyback ride to the top of the building.
I mean, I would, but I'm the one that usually charges in head first, so I don't know if we want to be that. Oh, wait, depending on how we go about this, I mean, we could have Mahkah go into beast form, and you could just mount on the saddle. Right?
Yeah, we tie Ethel down, so there's no way she can fall off.
Oh, you can't fall off.
That's right.
Yeah. It's exotic.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ethel. I have nothing. I have nothing for exhaustion for you.
It is okay. I will just be slow.
There's 4 Merregons. We can take them on. We can crush them.
Yeah.
And these,
Or we could just go upstairs. Let's just go around them.
How do we go up?
I think we should. I think climbing is a great idea and won't go poorly at all.
And the attention from the flying vultures outside, climbing, couldn't do anything wrong to us, right?
No.
We could set up a dramatic distraction.
Yeah, I'll go down there and set up a distraction. I think I could do that.
So how much rope would we need if we were to climb?
At least 100.
100 feet up. Yeah.
100 feet.
Yeah, that's easy. We've fallen down further.
Yeah, fallen.
That's a lot of feet.
Yeah,
that's a lot of feet
of rope.
Yeah, I think. Yes, I see.
So at the
me-
very least, Mach can be a bird still, right? That wasn't a fever dream, right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So
I was thinking.
go ahead.
to get that rope up there, we can use the harpoon gun on the Doom with the rope, and then our climbers can climb if need be.
How far does the harpoon gun fly? Actually, or not fly, but
120 feet.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we could.
Two lots of ropes. We can put some knots in them.
Mm-hmm.
To assist the climbers. I can fly up some if need be.
I mean, at least Ethel, because I don't think you're going to be moving anywhere fast.
Yeah, I think maybe I shouldn't be climbing. The only thing is, not dying on the way to the top from a bunch of birds, right?
Yep. And I would say birds can fit. Like, roughly how many levels would we... Oh no, we still have to climb up next level, aren't we, in the interior?
There's probably 10 levels all up. It's probably about 10 feet per level.
I mean, actually, come to think of it, we could just go into the bottom. Then we send someone... How big was the shaft?
The elevator shaft was... just want to give you a specific answer.
I would assume pretty big, because a lot of things are pretty huge here.
Yeah, it's...
It was a goods lift. It wasn't a standard passenger lift.
I don't know where I thought I would have written that down, but yeah, it's probably like 10 feet by 10 feet, something like that.
Right.
And it's slanted as well, on like a 20 degree angle from vertical.
Okay. So, like, it wouldn't be a difficult climb, at least in the shaft. Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, Ethel could tell you that it would be, yeah, like pretty slippery, but you could, I mean, there's not really much to hold on to in there. There's no, like, cable. I mean, you wouldn't know why there would be, but just as the GM to the players, there's no cable, central, like, lift elevator cable in there. It just seems to be this kind of smooth, square shaft. So you'd need some way to climb it, but it wouldn't be, it's not vertical.
Well, wasn't the interior of this interior of this place sort of like scavenged? Would there be like pieces
there's
of
like holes in the hull throughout, but it would still, like, the shaft is probably pretty smooth. Okay. Yeah, there might be like one or two like tears into the shaft from outside of the hull as well. So at least like a few places to kind of like grab onto if you wanted to try to do that.
Alright.
I think that might be actually a better plan than the outside. A lot of cover.
Yeah.
I will say, actually, Ethel, give me a perception check, just if we can slightly retcon something when you were looking around with the eye.
Yeah. Okay, well, something is broken with my foundry. Give me 1 second.
Uh-oh.
I just went in there and it was nothing.
Maybe just try a
like
refresh.
no sheet?
Yeah, it was just, it just had weird icons and nothing else. Okay, there we go. So a perception check?
Yep. At disadvantage, though.
Oh, does this have disadvantage? Yeah. Oh, but one of them was so good.
Yeah, you didn't notice anything else.
Cool. I love that.
Okay. I think, and then from the inside of the shaft, there was the hatch. Could we get through the hatch and then up through that way? Once we're in there and we make our way to the top of the shaft?
So on that top level, as high up as you can go through along the elevator shaft, there are these like kind of stairs, you know, sort of rungs in the wall, like metal rungs, and you can climb up them like a ladder, not stairs. and there appears to be some kind of hatch, but with the eye, Ethel was unable to find the other side of that hatch. It may be behind one of the closed doors that is on the roof level, the penthouse.
I think we go for it.
Let's do it.
Sure. I'm gonna be moving at half speed, so take a nap. Can I have all the slime homunculi crowd surf me?
Only out of combat or out of any situation where it would matter.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So, I guess we're going to drive the. Are we going to leave it from here? Or are we going to drive the Golden Doom a bit closer? Because really, we'll just
drive into them. We'll just crush them with our wheels.
And the wrecking ball.
What do you think?
Drive-by smashing.
Alright, so you just want to drive into these Merregon guards on the ground level before the huge hole in the hull?
Yeah.
Is that the idea? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Give them the old Avernian drive-by.
Cool our car is.
Does someone else want to take the wheel, or?
Okay. Listen, I'm doing great. I feel fantastic. I'm just starting to hallucinate a little bit.
So this wreckage is probably where's my tool? I'll just draw it like with this square. Actually, that's not good. Use the wrong feeling. It's kind of like this.
Mahkah turns to the back of the to the Golden Doom. Bang, Alina. Bang, bang. Go time.
And
drive into the danger zone.
Oh, can I cast aid?
Yep.
3 creatures within range. Ethel, Mahkah, and me.
Nice.
If I can just...
Five.
All right.
You guys get 5 temp and max hit points.
Ooh, nice.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty gigantic. There's just this gigantic ship. I don't know if I've made this. It seems pretty epic. That'll do. It might be a little bit out of proportion.
Nice.
But yeah, if everyone is, I'll add Lulu because she kind of flies naturally. And you guys do have Batcat and Luna summoned. Would you have them? You know, I didn't worry about them while you were driving through the plains, but you know, would you have them in their pocket dimensions, or are they out and ready to go?
If it's still really hot, I'm assuming she'd die like instantly.
It's very hot.
Yeah, so I'd probably have kept her in the pocket dimension while we were traveling and stuff, because weirder things have killed her.
What about
Ethel considers for a moment whether or not it would be an unethical experiment to see how long it would take Batcat to die.
Unethical.
And then leaves Batcat in the pocket dimension.
Okay. All right. So, whoever's driving... Oh, and where are the homunculi? Are they like?
I have a homunculi backup driver.
Okay, but so otherwise you're driving.
Yeah.
Okay.
A great idea.
And are any of the homunculi on any of the weapons or anything?
I would assume kind of a continuing on the trend. Probably two of them on the front one, the chopper.
Okay.
What was it called? Oh yeah, the chopper. Chomper, not chopper.
All right. Okay, so you were just like driving towards these Merregon guards. They see you coming. They are going to. This one sort of runs to the side to try to get out of the way. Going to run over to here. And it drops its halberd and pulls out what looks like a heavy crossbow. And it's just going to fire at Ethel at the helm. That's annoying. Hold on. Just give me a second. It wants to consume ammunition. Okay. That'll miss.
Do I have
Ethel,
cover because I'm in the helm?
Yes. Yep, so that definitely misses.
Then it goes right by.
Mahkah just nudges Ethel. He's firing at you. Your arrows. Catch him.
Wait. Ethel leans out of the helm to catch.
Okay, Lulu.
Lulu is gonna stay within the vehicle. Can she go back into the vehicle?
Okay, yep. And okay. This one is going to do much the same, kind of runs over to here, pulls out its crossbow, which is probably going to do the same thing. And it is aiming at also Ethel.
Silvery barbs. Are they within range or am I too far?
Actually, are they even within range? 100 feet. Oh yeah, good.
Yeah. Okay, it just looks further than 60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, they look really tiny.
And who gets the advantage?
Me.
Okay.
I don't know if I have to hit. I was thinking about what I was going to do.
Sweet.
I'm gonna use my gloves.
Okay.
Hooray! Ethel gives like a huge thumbs up to Mahkah, and it's just like, that was a great idea.
Oh, but you got to roll the formula to see how much it reduces the damage.
Yeah.
I'll give you the damage.
Oh, well, what I just typed in was nonsense. Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
So just 5 piercing.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is going to sort of run back to here. And it will sort of lean around this piece of the hull, and it's going to fire at whoever is in the passenger seat next to Ethel. Who's that?
I.
Okay.
Mahkah.
22.
Present.
Does 22 hit? Probably.
Just.
Okay.
Nice.
For 8 piercing damage. And this one will just sort of run over to here. Actually, is that still going to be... Yep. And it's going to fire at whoever is on the harpoon flinger. Wait, so where is everyone sitting? This always messes me up.
Wrecking ball.
Yep. Is anyone on the harpoon flingers?
I'm just assisting. I took myself out of the action station because the harpoon flinger, it does no damage.
Okay. I guess it will. What about you, Jean Lemore? Where are you?
I'm just in a passenger seat.
Okay.
Last time I think I was in the right hand side.
All right, it's gonna fire at you, Jean Lemore.
Oh.
Sorry. 21 would hit, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Any reactions? Okay.
Now for
6 piercing.
6 piercing.
Okay. Golden Doom. Crush it.
Can Mahkah start off? Can he kick it off?
Just go for it.
Yeah,
Yep.
go.
Yeah, done. He wants to bless. Everybody, use the right hand of Torm and bless everyone.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna upcast it to 2nd level.
Ooh.
Cool.
Nice.
Ooh.
Beast Fist of Righteousness.
Sweet.
I would like to go next so I can use my action to drive.
Yep.
I think just straight ahead. I'm just gonna ram at this guy.
Oh yeah, you can run over.
Yeah,
Alright.
I want to run this guy over.
So, what do we got? Crushing Wheels. Creature must succeed on a DC 11 Dex save. Try to roll out of the way. Nice. Looks like it's getting crushed. So go ahead and give me 4d10 bludgeoning.
Wow.
Ethel is maniacally laughing at the wheel.
And is this also magic? I mean, does this count as one of its weapons? I don't see why not. Crushing wheels sound like weapons to me. Okay. And it is prone.
I can imagine the chompers are going at the same time with their homunculi.
Oh yeah.
So I think you would need to maybe though move over this thing and kind of drive up into this hull a little bit. I'll say you can do that, but you won't be able to get very far. I guess as far as in the map.
Well, can I then try incredible driving maneuver that Ethel probably almost definitely can't pull off, in which I just spin to face this guy?
Yeah, you can do a spin.
Pull really hard on the wheel.
Just give me a dex check, I think, with the Golden Doom.
Lovely. Do I have disadvantage on that?
Yeah, I was just thinking that, and I'm also, I think yes.
No!
You're exhausted, and it's like, it's hard to do a maneuver like this.
Does Bless add to this?
Yep.
Sadly not for skill checks. It's attack rolls and saving throws.
It's
saving throws.
Saving throws and attacks. Nice. It does not. Or not nice.
Well, I'm trying to think about if Ethel knows that she's deeply tired. Would she try this?
You do?
Probably.
Homunculi as well. Assisting. You said assisting driving. I don't know if that helps.
Or a backup driver? Could he be like,
I'm not
you're going too far?
I don't think that would help.
I mean, if you want to spend one of your pulse rolls so you don't...
you can only really have one on there at a time. That's fine. You are able to successfully do that. Kind of spin around like this. You blow up all of this sand. Which kind of, what I've drawn here is just, this is where like the sand and dirt sort of comes up, and this part of the ground here is sort of like buried. So you can kind of drive up to there before it starts getting like, there's too many objects in there to continue driving. But yes.
So I think that was 60 feet, so I'll move just a little closer to this guy.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Wait, can I drive over a second guy?
Yeah, you can.
Second.
Yeah. Yep.
Hell yeah. I'm driving over a second guy.
It doesn't say it's an action.
I don't know how,
Oh, wow.
yeah, when we're at when we're attacking with this, I don't know if someone is allowed to attack with one of the action stations while I'm in the middle of doing something like this or not. I don't know how we're ruling.
Yeah, you can coordinate. Okay. So just if anyone wants to do something, just shout out.
Yeah.
But you need to. I'll say that you need to actually like drive over the creature though. Like.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
So I think this brings us to about 80 feet. Okay, definitely not heading towards any fire. Don't you worry about it.
It also fails. So give me the damage.
Oh.
This is my favorite thing.
Okay. 17 damage. All right. And prone.
All right. As like Ethel's like escaping away, targeting the next poor sap, can Kenway just kind of like take the wrecking ball, just like drop it on the poor guy? Just like,
definitely. Definitely.
All right. Let me pull up the Golden Doom. Wrecking ball with advantage.
20 bludgeoning damage.
Because it's prone.
And not prone. Okay. So is this the one that you have just run down?
Oh, I was thinking like this guy, as like she's getting to the next target.
24 hits.
All right. Still waiting for a crit on this thing.
The only thing is you'll have disadvantage because he's down on... Well, I mean, I guess you could hit him before he gets run over. So that's fine. Flat roll's fine. So yeah, give me the damage.
Oh, because I was doing this as you like we're getting away and we're speeding away from the, like this guy.
I mean, in that case, you would have disadvantage because he's prone.
But it's a melee attack.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Fuck. Sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I'm just thinking of the wrecking ball because it's like I don't know really exactly how it works, but it works. Okay. He just literally you just smash him over into this like object, this wall here, and he just collapses. Just his armor, like just this massive like split goes like straight through his head and all the way down into his torso as you hit him with this thing through this like metal head and torso, and he just goes flying and just smashes on this wall.
Kenway joins in the maniacal laughter that Ethel is exuberating.
This is like the first like real moment Ethel and Kenway have had where they look at each other maniacally laughing and just like utter joy.
Next.
Maybe Jean
we understand each other.
All right. Oh man, I thought they were closer together. All right, I want to do a guiding bolt, but I accidentally did Nather's mischief.
Okay.
How do I undo this?
Just do the guiding bolt, and then you can just go into your character sheet. Just open it through the actor's panel.
All right,
and,
here we go.
Yep.
Cool. I want to target who's looking. Maybe this guy.
All right.
Attack. Oh, +4.
Still hits.
Plus D4.
Hits either way.
Yes. And then you have advantage on the next attack on this guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, 14 radiant damage, and I don't think I have that. Oh, I do. Awesome. Okay, Alina.
These fights are real difficult for me because I'm never close to anything. I'll cast Shadow Blade, and that's all I can do right now.
Okay.
And I was just gonna say maybe I'll take some kind of cover if I can.
So you would need to take an action if you want to like hide. Cover otherwise is just the cover that you would get from this position that you're in on the vehicle. So just
I'll use my bonus action to hide.
You can do that. I mean, these creatures are kind of looking at the vehicle. If you kind of just duck down in the vehicle, they can't see exactly where you are. I'll have to think about how that comes into play when you do whatever you try to do from being hidden. But as far as cover is concerned, you just have the cover that your station gives you, so you have like a half cover.
Okay. I was just thinking like hiding could be just pulling up my elven cloak and I kind of camouflage more in with the vehicle, so I'm less likely to be targeted, maybe, is my thought process.
It's just that usually when you're in the midst of battle, if creatures can kind of see you and they know that you're in the combat, it's very hard to hide from them unless they somehow kind of lose track of where you are. So these guys are like looking at the vehicle, so if you sort of duck down and pull your cloak up, like I don't know if that would really constitute being hidden. Okay. Maybe I'd give you a small benefit depending on what you do.
Okay.
I have to see.
All I got.
But at this point, these planes of fire, which are still raging all around you, are going to burst you with flames. As you drive towards these flames here, a huge burst of flames just envelops the vehicle again. So everyone give me a dex save.
Wow, I no way could have seen this coming and should have stayed away from the fire more. But I had to crush that guy.
It's not actually because you're close to the fire. It's just because you're in the plains of fire. This fire is this enormous like patch of flame, but you are kind of far enough away from it. You would have thought that you would be safe, but for this unexpected burst of flames. So anyone that fails did anyone fail? 15?
Oh, I forgot to add the +2, so it would be a 15
okay,
from
so
the.
Everyone's fine. But everyone, give me a con save. DC 10. Due to the extreme heat.
I'm not worried about that.
Oh, do we have bless for this?
Yep.
We can only use bless once, right?
No.
Oh,
as long as Mark is concentrating on it, you can. You are
bless is so good.
Well, you're fine. To add. You would only need one.
Yep.
It's a weird sound. Okay.
I was just going to say, is an arcade flying by?
Yeah, I've never heard that sound before. All right. This guy is going to run in this direction. And he will fire at Kensei Kenway with his heavy crossbow. That ain't doing shit. All right, Lulu.
Oh, Lulu. Lulu's gonna stay where she is.
Okay. All right. This guy is going to stand up. Well, this is a... See, I don't know if this makes sense. This is what I was kind of thinking. You sort of need to drive over him because, like, I don't know where he's standing at this point. Like, he can't be, like, under the vehicle on his turn. Otherwise, you're, like, sharing a square with him. So I'm going to say in the future, you have to actually drive over him and, to be more specific, leave his square.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha.
But so he's going to be here. He will stand up. And he is going to... He had his crossbow in hand. He's going to kind of try to run over here and like pick up his halberd. And he then is just standing here with his halberd in hand. He's going to
attack at him.
Sorry, op attack. Yeah, take an op attack.
I was just going to ask who would be able to take op attacks from that. Just curious.
Yeah, whoever is near him, I'm going to say. It's like sometimes we care about where you're sitting and sometimes we don't. I don't know. I guess like if it's the vehicle itself taking the op attack, it doesn't matter where he is. So Kensei, kill him. But otherwise, anyone else who wants to use their op attack who is near there. So if you think that you're on that side of the vehicle, you can. But you should, I guess, declare it up front to use your reaction.
If it's the wrecking ball, then I won't get it just yet because he has to be at least 15 feet away. So if he keeps running, then
because it has like a 15 feet.
Yeah. So,
interesting.
Because he is not leaving my attack radius yet.
Well, that's okay because he was going to do that. Actually, he was going to.
Okay, then I'll kill him.
He was going to dash. What's he done? He's done 15 to get up, 20, 25, 30.
Well,
40,
wherever
45.
he's at, he might not be able to move any further.
That definitely hits.
Well, I'm saying because Sentinel as well.
As he is
or
picking
he's
up,
just dead.
as he is picking up his halberd, you just smash him in the back. The halberd just goes like skidding along through the dirt. Okay, this guy over here is going to also fire at Kensei Kenway with his crossbow. Misses. Do me. Angelo, do you want to go first? Mahkah?
Oh, I was going to ask, Ethel, did you want to... What's your idea? You going to back it up a bit?
Yeah, Ethel throws it in reverse. Tries to do a 3-point turn. No, essentially I was gonna back it up.
Okay, so the only thing about backing
way,
it up, is that you you would have to stop the vehicle in order to reverse it.
Gotcha.
So it'll take you, I think, an action to do that. I think.
All right. So
otherwise,
instead,
you can try to like spin it around mid-move, but then you'll need to
let me try to spin again.
Okay, another dex check with the vehicle, but at disadvantage.
With the vehicle at disadvantage. Gotcha. Does it use my modifier?
I haven't. Yes. Why not?
Okay.
Can Mahkah on his turn cast guidance on Ethel for his turn? Because it's not one that you normally use in combat, guidance.
I mean, did you know that? Yeah. I mean,
we see the thing is running into either fire or rock, so it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Okay.
And that'll be my turn as well.
Okay. Sweet.
Well, then I will use actually my 13 portent on this, so it has guidance and then +2. So
Okay.
from my dex. So then hopefully that's fine. That'd be 15 plus whatever guidance is.
It would be like a D4. You just have to roll.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little bit difficult. You're just doing it in mid, like, drive. You're just spinning the car around. So it's probably going to be
17.
like pretty high. That's 17. That's okay. Yeah. I think that's not going to be enough. So let me just pull out. Where do I have this? Bear with me. Here we go. For Infernal War Machines. Mishaps. Okay. Give me a d20.
Do I have to roll this? It's a disadvantage.
No.
I think it's more the outcome.
Okay. The steering locks as you're attempting to do this, and the vehicle can move in a straight line
in which direction?
only. It automatically fails dexterity checks and dexterity saving throws until this mishap ends, which a little bit confused by that, but that
Question is,
this is actually it is permanently like this.
Oh no!
The steering now has locked. It's actually like damaged.
Oops. Ethel is convinced she's really good at driving, so. But the question is, at what point in my epic spin did it lock?
Before you made the spin.
Darn.
So you will just drive into this rock. And it's going to do some damage to the vehicle as well. And I'm going to say that it does essentially, I think, basically equal and opposite force, right? It's going to do the amount of damage it would do if it were running someone over. So it's going to do the crushing wheels damage to itself, which isn't too bad. So 19 bludgeoning.
But but it's resistant to physical damage.
Nice. So only 9 bludgeoning.
Nice.
I'll give it the 9 bludgeoning.
Okay.
Okay. And it just comes to a halt here. Everyone give me a strength save to prevent yourself from being thrown out of the vehicle.
Bully.
Will we have a lid on it?
I mean, there's like a sort of a leather, like, I don't know, I don't think it's gonna hold.
Yeah, I feel like you can't get thrown out. Do we get bless on this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you would have bless on this. Everyone's doing pretty good so far.
Ooh.
Oops, sorry guys. I thought I was better at
Okay,
driving than this.
Mahkah.
I'm going straight out.
Yeah, Mahkah
I was
and
in the front
Lulu.
left.
No.
Wait,
Lulu
wait,
goes like-
Lulu. Wait,
sorry.
wait. That's not Lulu's roll.
Oh, that was your roll. Oh no.
No, that was a D4.
Oh, this is a D4.
For the bless.
Okay. I mean, I rarely worry, but yeah, fuck it, give Lulu a... Okay, so yeah, it is still Lulu. I'll just move Lulu. Lulu, you're going to go over to here, and Lulu tumbles on the ground.
no.
She is prone, and Mahkah, you are now...
Is there any way I can use my reaction to try to grab one of them before they, like, if someone's close to me, maybe Lulu? Because I think Mahkah's at the front, but...
Give me a dex check. Give me a... what would that be? Probably just a dex check, I think. Yeah.
Do we get the 1d4 for that?
For bless? For check,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, okay. So that's
You're unable to react quick enough
okay.
and grab. You try to grab Mahkah, but he slips out, flies over here and lands on the ground. You are prone, Mahkah, and also you and Lulu will both take some bludgeoning damage as you roll along the ground. Just 2 bludgeoning damage. Okay. Who's next?
I would say that went well.
Just have to make a con save for our guidance as well.
I'll say.
Sorry, Bliss.
I'll say also, Ethel, driving this thing, you know, the steering wheel is locked. You feel like, I don't know, like, just, I guess from driving this around for a while and kind of just feeling the way that the steering wheel works, that maybe if you kind of wrenched this thing hard enough, you could fix this problem. You're not sure, but that
Like-
you just have that impression.
Like, if I was physically strong, or if
You feel like
I
it
could
might
just,
take some...
tweak it in just the right way.
Yeah, you feel like it might take some strength to do it.
Get Larry!
What?
Did you
Okay.
come blow on this wheel?
And I'll put Mahkah in the initiative tracker, and we'll just put you after the Doom. No. Okay. Was there anyone else in the Doom that hasn't taken their turn? Kensei, Kenway?
Yeah, you can say Luna, not Luna, John Lamar and Alina, right?
Okay, yeah. Alina can go first if you want.
I'm going to throw my blade. Okay, wait, hang on. How far does it go? 660. Yeah, just in range. Okay. Okay. Yeah, perfect. That's obviously a bad guy. And we get blessed. Did you fail the con save? Are you good?
He's good.
No, all good.
Okay.
Are you aiming at this guy with the
Eldridge.
forgot what
The
it's called.
guiding bolt.
Yeah, guiding bolt.
Yeah, guiding bolt. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. 22 hits.
Nice.
Oh. Sneak. Eesh. Okay.
That kills him.
Okay, bonus action, pull it back like him. Oh.
Just goes like straight into his throat, and then you kind of draw it back out of his throat. All this black blood just comes spraying out of this metal throat, and he collapses backwards.
Perfect. Now on my turn.
Okay. I like to target this guy.
All right.
With evil eldritch blast. Oh, plus D4.
Okay. Just misses.
Okay.
But you got 3, yeah?
Oh, yeah, true. Shit, sorry. I thought it was only one attack for all 3. Oh, no, separate attack. Okay. Okay, 1d4 normal.
That hits.
Okay. And...
Ah! The drums of war, the rigging!
What was that giving you alerts again?
It was like giving you the thing where it was just a sound effect of like, oh, it's almost your turn. Or something like that.
What the hell? I have turned that off repeatedly. It just keeps turning itself back on. I don't know why. I guess it's like every time.
It wasn't like the actual
module,
bring up alert, but it was just sort of like the sound effect. It's fine. Like
okay.
it's much better than a ding. It's just like boom, 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 boom.
Still,
so it's like a little bit more.
Just annoyed that it keeps turning back on. What the fuck? Do what I say. Okay, who's next? Kensei Kenway.
I will go towards the steering wheel column thing and like, all right, work, damn you, and just try to see if I can like wrench it or pull it free or whatever.
Okay, give me a strength check.
All right.
Give me actually an athletics check.
Oh, even better. Where's there it is. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's just, it resists
no, wait,
your
that's an
attempt.
I'm hoping it's an action.
You can't seem to pull it. But you feel like this would maybe, if you could just, like, you do get a sense that you're kind of budging it a little bit, like you're doing the right thing, but you're not able to quite move it just yet.
Ethel, you're not allowed to drive anymore!
But I'm so good at it!
Not if I have to keep steering the damn thing for you!
Okay, Mahkah.
Oh, Mahkah had his turn before in the vehicle. Helping out Ethel.
Okay, sweet.
Before he was thrown out of the vehicle. Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, we'll have another hazard from these planes of fire. Fire! Another tar explosion as this patch of tarry putrescence bursts in the heat and sprays you all with this flaming tar. So give me a dex save. And unfortunately, Mahkah won't have the cover, obviously. That's
right. Okay.
What's the range on bless?
What dex? Oh my god, I'm killing it today.
What was the range question, Ethel?
What's the range on bless? Do we have it?
That's on you.
Oh, is it just? It. Oh, it's just on us. Oh, that's so cool.
You are blessed.
Why is that so good? Oh, that's so bad.
Okay, so Ethel, you take. Oh, hold on, not that. You take 1d6.
Oh, wait, I thought the DC was 10.
No, DC was 13. DC is 13. You take.
Oh wait, do I have a cover from the helm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not put that in there, so it's a 15.
Okay, so you're all good.
Never mind, everything's fine.
But everyone, give me a con save, DC 10. Oh, and there's also another 2d10 damage to the vehicle, which I didn't realize I had written this in here. But the vehicle automatically takes some damage from this tar explosion.
Is it fire damage?
Fire damage.
The thing says it's immune.
Immune to fire?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well then, don't worry about it. And did anyone fail the con save?
Me.
Shit.
Is this DC 10?
DC 10, yeah, so you're okay. But Jean Lemore, you have 1 level of exhaustion.
Ethel, I know how you feel. So sleepy.
I'm just tired. Maybe I shouldn't be allowed to drive. I can do it.
Oh, yeah, thank.
You need a power nap.
Lulu.
Yeah.
All right, Lulu
Lulu's
is
prone,
gonna
remember?
get up.
Okay.
Uses half her movement, and maybe can she help Mahkah get up?
She can. She can't
really
lift him up. She can. There's no need to do that.
Okay.
I don't know if she'd be strong enough to lift Mahkah up anyway.
Emotional support.
You probably could do that, but I don't know if Lulu can do that. I mean,
well, maybe she'll just come here and
maybe.
Wait, no, she can only travel 60 feet. Okay, no, she's just gonna go back into the vehicle.
Okay. Okay, this one here is going to drop its heavy crossbow, pick up its halberd, and it just sees this wreckage. It's going to dash over in this direction. Let me see. I mean, it sees the wreckage, but it also just sees Kenway sitting there on this wrecking ball.
Well, I had to go up to the steering column to try to fix it, so I'm towards the front.
Totally. Okay, sweet. All right, it's just going to dash over to here. Back to the Golden Doom. It is running to its Golden Doom.
So is reverse possible now? We've stopped, and it'd be in a straight line.
It says straight line only.
In reverse.
Yes, I think so.
Ethel does a quick gas break. You know, I want to run over this guy and then immediately stop.
It takes you an action to turn it on again, though. So I don't know if you can do that. Where does it?
Okay, well then I would
helm.
not do that, unless one of the homunculi can hit the gas and I can hit the brake.
That was a lie. It is a bonus action to start the Infernal War Machine or shut it off.
Oh, nice.
So you can use your bonus action and your action if you want to do that.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay.
I just go right back over this guy.
You feel as though his eyes would widen if they could. As he realized the silly mistake he made. It's likely to be the last mistake he makes. Alright, well, he might pass this deck save.
I can just imagine him. He's like, before I attack him, I'm just gonna tie up my shoelace. So that looks up.
Man,
so go ahead and give me the damage, Ethel.
Oh no!
All right, I get to roll so many dice.
Hey.
He's not dead, but he's looking bloodied. And dented.
Can I mock him for being stupid?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey,
you need need a DC 17.
Okay, fails.
And he had advantage. That's funny.
Seems a little bit resistant to magic. You feel that's the case with all of these devils.
That's
okay,
right.
5 psychic damage.
And advantage for the next
attack.
Next
sorry,
attack.
Disadvantage for his next attack, I think.
Disadvantage on his next. If he gets to it.
He probably won't. Okay, who's next?
Do we want to have the slimes take their chomper attack? Because a creature's finally in range.
Do it. Do it. That definitely hits. That kills him.
Jump.
He is just
This is my
chomped to
favorite day.
pieces by the chompers on the front of the Golden Doom, and we're out of combat.
Mahkah for a minute thought, he's like, oh, where they going? He's like, that's Ethel. I think she's just backing up. She's not going anyway.
All right, sweet. Let's take a 5-minute break.
All right.
You recover from this battle. You can quickly check these Merregon corpses to see if they have anything on them, and they don't, other than these halberds. You feel there is great urgency and impetus to get out of this heat. What do you do?
Okay, quick, give me a hand here. I want to get this thing working before we go running off again.
Definitely jumping into the vehicle.
Okay.
Assisting Kenway with the wheel.
I was gonna
actually-
say, Kim. Oh, sorry.
To assist, Mark has got some oil in a flask and he just wants to put some drops around the steering junction to loosen it up a bit, to give Kenway a bit of a...
Nice. Okay, maybe use up one of the oils to do that.
I was just gonna actually say use the crowbar, put it in between, like where the steering wheel is, and use it to twist it, because it gives you strength check, so you don't have to use any oil. Because I think you have advantage on strength checks with it. With the crowbar.
Yeah, sounds good.
Mahkah, do you still apply the oil?
I'll use the crowbar first. Assist Kensei with the crowbar. And then if that doesn't work, I'll put some oil.
Okay, give me an athletics check at advantage. Yes, you are this time using the crowbar able to wrench the steering wheel out of its lock, and you feel like you can turn the vehicle again as normal.
All right, grab the keys.
Sorry, guys. I think I was kind of driving drowsy. I know you're not supposed to do that.
Oh yes, I know. Just kind of like quickly make our way into the fortress.
Okay, I am gonna get everyone to give me another con save, seeing as you took a moment to do that. So just DC 10 con save.
Is Bless still up?
Probably not. How long does Bless last? Isn't it like a minute? I'm gonna say no.
Oh, Mahkah, you were with me. You get a +2 from the saving throw.
Excellent.
Protective aura.
Like 10.
Excellent. Okay, none of you get another level of exhaustion, which is very good. And you're able to run into this space, this deck, this lower deck, and sort of run in between some of these structures and into these passages. And you can pretty quickly find this central passageway that sort of leads to the left and to the right. Do you just kind of run into here? How do you move into this area?
I think since
I was going to say, we don't want to attract more attention as well. So Mahkah will cast Pass Without Trace to assist us moving in.
Okay. So you cast Pass Without Trace. Does everyone attempt to move in stealthily?
I think so.
Okay, give me a group stealth check. And you obviously all have +10.
Here we go.
Damn.
Yep. Much as I expected. Yep. And as you come in here, you can see that it's very dark, but there are some, there's some light filtering in from the outside through some holes in the hull, in particular the big hole that you just came through. The walls, the floor, and the walls and the ceiling, and any doors that you can see are made of iron. That looks like it's been, in many places, twisted and bent, and of course ruptured. The ceilings in here are, like approximately 10 feet high. And the whole thing is slanted, as I mentioned, at this like 20-degree angle. As you run in, it's kind of slanted to the right. So the right side is the lowest part of the deck. Because of that, it's a little bit difficult to move through here. So the terrain is difficult everywhere because of the slant.
And Ethel's going really slow.
Yeah. Okay. Because you're exhausted.
Yeah. And then I realized I was supposed to have disadvantage on this stealth check. It's still pretty high though, but I just rolled again in case it was a 1.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's still fine. Kensei Kenway makes a little bit of noise, but it's not too bad. Given the combat that you've just been in made a huge amount of noise, you can still hear this kind of fire raging outside. Wait, what?
Sorry, I realized I was also exhausted.
Well, you still have a plus 10, so it's a 16.
That's true, 16,
Right.
16.
Okay.
Sorry, yes.
And as you move into this hallway, Ethel has told you about these strange snail-like things, these large, bony snails that are sort of leeching about around down here. So you sort of try to move quietly. You've got this spell making your footsteps land extra quietly. And you peer around the corner into this hall. And you look both ways, and you don't see anything immediately, and you don't see any of these snails here. Which way do you go?
I guess I would lead them towards like the elevator shaft.
Okay, so you can turn to the left side of this, to the left, and head down this main central passage. As you're walking along down here, you can see these doors on either side of you. And some of them have these, I said there were no windows in the hull, but there are these windows, these look like a kind of a glass that you haven't seen before, a very strong, sturdy looking glass. Just these kind of like bay windows that run down this hall, and you can see these different rooms in there, and there's all kinds of sort of stuff in there that you don't know what it is. It looks like, some of these things just look like, they're essentially like panels, like computer panels and other equipment, and just wires hanging down and all this sort of thing. But again, like most of the doors have been like, all of the doors basically down here have been smashed open, and all of this stuff has been like gutted. Everything in there is like open, and there's anything that's basically not locked down seems to have been taken away. But you can head through here quietly, and you reach this elevator shaft. You don't know what that is, but you reach this big square shaft to the right, and you can peer in. These doors are wide open, and you look down, and just into this dark pit that heads downwards, and you can also look up this dark pit that heads upwards. And it is, of course, also sloped at this 20-degree angle.
And did you say the hatch that I saw was in the elevator or in one of the rooms nearby?
The hatch was on the highest level that you can reach via the elevator shaft.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant that there was also maybe a secondary way up that I couldn't see with the eye. Never mind. Guys, here's this weird hole that we could make it to the top somehow.
Yeah, I could see that. Ooh.
I wouldn't recommend looking down.
Too late. Stepping back casually.
Oh, sorry.
Alina, do you
want
to
ask me about the shaft, the hatch? Sorry, you also saw this kind of 5 foot wide, like circular like pipe that is near the elevator shaft, and it has a hatch in it. And as you were moving the eye between levels, you could see that this pipe appears to go all the way up from the level you're on, and probably lower, all the way up to the top as well. So you feel like it's like this like round portal, and it would be big enough for you, theoretically, if you could open it, you could get in there as well. So you feel like the two options that you can see that you could, you know, that you could think reasonably might be ways up would either be this pipe or this elevator shaft.
I'll ask Kenway to try to open this hatch. Ethel doesn't even attempt to try. She's like, I'm tired and it looks heavy.
Alright. I will attempt to open it.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Alright. Can I use the crowbar?
Yep.
Okay.
Roll with advantage.
Alright. Yep. Finally, some breaking and entering.
Usually my specialty.
Yes, you are able to turn this thing pretty easily. It takes like 3 turns, and you can pull open this circular hatch, and you can look into this pipe, and it is, just this 5-foot pipe. It goes down and up a very long way, just as with the elevator shaft, and it's pitch black in there.
Is it smooth?
Yes.
There a ladder in there?
No.
That would be ideal. Darn.
Are there any large pieces of metal about?
Nothing that's not attached, actually. There's anything that wasn't able to be ripped off this thing. Anything that was able to be ripped off this thing has been taken.
And you mean the Flying Fortress?
Yep.
In general.
Yep.
Okay. Darn. Can we like put our arms out inside that like tube and reach both sides of the tube?
Yes.
It'd probably be easier to climb the tube
5-foot
then.
diameter.
Until somebody heavy falls on someone else, and then we all go to the bottom.
Well, that's why we do some climbing, you know, special rope ties. We're gonna use some mini chain. I mean, yeah, I guess I'd rather climb the tinier tube than the bigger tube. So.
I mean, do you want me to...
Is Kensei gonna fit in said tube?
Are you calling me fat?
Maybe I am.
Alright, pipsqueak. Maybe if I kind of like, I can take like a connected strand of rope and try to climb up there and see if I can find what would be the top.
Or I could send Alina to the top and see what's up there with the rope.
Or I can maybe do some shenanigans to summon Slot up there.
Sorry, how high was it again? Sorry, from where we are to the top?
It's really difficult to see when you look up this pipe because of how dark it is. I mean, I guess you have dark vision, but well, actually, because your dark vision's like, what is it, 60 feet?
Yeah.
You can't see to the end of this.
300 feet dark vision.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you can see when you put your head in here. Okay, yeah, so when you look up here, you see that it's about, it looks like it's 90 feet. It goes all the way up to what you would estimate would be, it would make sense as like the deck below the penthouse deck. But as you peek up here, you also see something strange. You see something move just a little bit at the very top of this pipe. I guess if you can see like pretty clearly, this thing, it shifts around a couple of times in the darkness, and it is just like some kind of curled up thing that, at best you can tell, looks like some sort of massive centipede-like thing. It's some sort of alien-looking centipede that is just apparently nesting at the top of this pipe.
Well, good thing you didn't send in the bird.
Oof.
All right, we pass that information on to the team. Okay, we're gonna flush out the pipe.
Bigger hole it is.
Wait. Can you tell me that, obviously?
No.
My secret.
I tell you, but in a language you can't understand.
I was gonna say, can I have... Oh no, it wouldn't help us later. I was gonna say if I could use the mage hand and... Because mine's invisible, I could take something up and then like maybe get it to like slide down the tube by sliding something underneath it and making lose its grip from the wall and make it fall down maybe.
This creature?
Yeah.
I mean, Mahkah could tell you that, because I guess he can see pretty clearly that this centipede thing, it just looks like it has like many clawed hands that are grasping all sides of this pipe.
Yeah, I was thinking if I could like... Okay. Make it fall down. And we could stab it.
Well, I'm not saying you can't.
Go straight.
I just, maybe I don't fully understand what you mean.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like... Even if I took a rope and slid it quickly down from its legs, like all the way down, like flush against it and the wall.
How would you get it above it?
With my mage hand.
Like you would, okay.
So you're just trying to lasso it, just trying to pull it free, just going, whee!
Yeah.
It all to go through all the way down the pipe.
Yeah. Kind of like wrap it. Or like grab it or something and pull it down.
How far's your Big B's hands, Ethel? Grab it and pull it down. What's the range on that?
Let me check. Why aren't we just going up the big hole? It's 120 feet.
There's probably other things in the big hole.
Bigger things in the big...
Well, look up the big hole.
Yeah, Mahkah, look up the big hole.
Okay.
Actually,
What's
didn't
up the big
I
hole?
go up the big hole? My hole. I haven't seen it.
You don't see any obvious organic cloggages up the big hole.
Yeah.
This orifice is clear.
Yep.
Between the shafts today and the hole and the... Oh, God.
So childish.
But there's like little like sort of holes and stuff in the big hole.
What?
I mean, like at various like distances up.
Yeah, I guess there's a couple of, maybe there's two places where there is a hole in the hull that has actually gone into the elevator shaft, and so there are like two shafts of light that are penetrating this hole, this shaft.
I'm sorry.
I was not gonna laugh at that one, and then you started laughing.
The shaft is penetrated twice.
And the fortress should really wore some protection, huh?
Anyways.
Why don't we drop a rope from these things in the shaft?
Probably the closest one is maybe
on.
30 feet high, above you.
Mm-hmm.
Kenway, you can do that. Cold man.
Oh, yeah.
Tag team.
I can do that.
Leather.
Just like warp, grab on, hold the rope.
Get shanked in the ass.
I can take it a lot better than you can.
You have to be able to hit me first.
All right, but so okay, I see what you're saying. Because the cold man can just hover there, and then you would swap with the cold man, and then you would like grab onto the side of this this hole in the hull.
Mm-hmm. What's the next hole?
It is 20 feet above that one.
Oh.
And what's the overall range? Is that all just 50 feet?
90 in total.
Okay.
Oh, but there are... Sorry, I don't think it was clear that there's like a door on every level going up this shaft. Some of them, as Ethel could tell you, are open. Some of them are sort of partially open, and there's a couple of them that are closed.
I mean, yeah, I could pretty much just go like hop, skipping around, just kind of like to the different levels from like either a hole or an open door if I can. Just like from the cold man and just switching between places. I am just like weirdly like Prince of Persian this with just like the Echo Man just going, what?
It reminds me of Super Metroid, you know, when you can like bounce up the
exactly.
walls. Do you try to do that?
Well, I mean, after I get another 100 feet of rope just so I can tie it up at the top. Because it'd be really weird to do all that and have to come back down to get more rope.
Like, why did I do this?
Just to flex, I guess.
Okay, so you don't have enough rope, you're saying?
Yeah.
No, you guys
I'll
bought
pass
rope.
you 50 feet.
Yeah, I have like 50. I have 100.
I just have the 50. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna borrow like another 50 so I can do this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you my 50.
All right, there you go.
So
And
you need
then I
to
will-
tie the ropes together. Who does that?
Oh, Alina should do that.
Alina.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
Silky hands, Alina.
Oh my god, never say that to me again.
Come on, Alina, give this rope a happy ending.
I'm choking on my cracker.
You can't eat while playing with us. It's a health hazard. You're right there.
Okay, you feel pretty confident about your knot. And Kensei, Kenway, if you begin to move up like this, so you do the first one. You're going to swap with the cold man, and you're going to sort of appear next to this hole and try to grab onto it.
Yep.
It's not really climbing, is it? I guess it is climbing. Give me an athletics check.
All right.
For a moment, I was like, "You gonna do an acrobatics check?" And I was like, Oh, okay.
Oh, brutal.
Um,
If Kenway just falls past the hole that we're standing by, I would cast Featherfall on him. But we just see a zooming shape going by.
It's just like, all right, guys, I'll be right there. Cold man appears, and then I'm like, oh shit.
That is what happens. So, so Ethel, go ahead and cast Featherfall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to grab him, maybe.
You can try.
I'm doing it.
Featherfall is
Okay.
up to 5 people, so I'll just if Alina goes with them.
Dexterity?
Yeah, give me
check?
give me a check. Yeah, give me a dex check. $21. Okay. Now, how much can you carry, Alina?
Yes, I'm calling you fat now.
So,
Where do I check this? 120 pounds. I'm
Okay.
hanging on. I'm hanging onto the side of the frame.
okay, you are pulled off with Kensei, and now you are also falling.
Well, good thing she did Featherfall.
Kensei's armor
If anyone
and the
else wants
stuff
to
that he's
grab him.
holding is heavier than you can carry. But you both get
This is fine.
Featherfall cast on you, so it's okay. So as you float downwards, what do you do?
Try to grab some sort of like handle so we stop floating into the descending darkness.
Now I'm monkey holding Kensei.
Okay, I'll say that without a check, you're able to, seeing as you're just drifting like a feather, you've got plenty of time to sort of push yourself off the back wall towards the door and grab onto the inside of the next door down, which is open.
Debate my life choices. Like, get off. I'm like, ugh, it never happened.
See, falling sucks.
I wasn't scared. It was being too close to you.
Oh, from the way you're holding on to me? Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Oh my god. Okay. What do you do now? You're a level below.
I peek over to the top. Can we get a rope?
You have a rope. I'm gonna make
they need to like send out a rope so we can climb up.
I thought you had it.
I have the rope, but I want it up. I want them to send down from up there.
Mage hand the rope up to them.
As you are arguing, you see one of these snail-like creatures emerge from the passageway behind you and begin to creep in your direction.
So do you still want to take the time to do mage hand, or do you want them to assist us?
Mark is dropping his rope down.
See, instant service. Can't go wrong with that.
I'm like, JL, can you help me tie this off somewhere? Or
Yeah, I'll use my
brace it.
prehensile tail to assist.
Okay. If you guys are going to climb this rope, how do you go about climbing it?
Me first.
Did you say you first? Okay. Did you just grab onto the rope and try to like sort of shimmy up the rope with your feet on the wall? Okay, give me an athletics check.
Come here, Kensei. That's a bonus, silly. I can't do athletics. That's why.
You slip and you fall into the depths.
Featherball lasts for a whole minute.
Rabbit?
A minute.
So I don't know how fast you thought that interaction was, but I thought it was really fast.
A minute.
Lita,
they only fell one floor.
Okay, I'll say that you you float back down, and the featherfall wears off just as you grab onto the door and pull yourself through. But you see this bone whelk now, and you know that if you make one more wrong move, you will be attacked by this this snail thing, which happens to be called a bone whelk. Damn it!
Oh.
You see another one of these large snails emerging from the other way along the passage, and it is on the ceiling.
All right, I just sort of like see that, and I go like, "Oh well, you're not gonna like this." I'm gonna just rush for the door. I'm gonna go pick up Alina, and I'm gonna grab the rope, and I'm just gonna try to Tarzan my way across the way, and just hold on. Just
okay. So you've grabbed Alina.
Yeah.
And you're trying to Tarzan up the. Okay.
Well, I just like grab the rope and just swing out.
I'm assuming you can. I mean, can you carry Alina and all of your stuff as well? What can you? What's your Okay, so you can carry 315, and she weighs because you've also got like already. So let me see.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
315 minus what? So you've got 117.7 remaining. You can't do this. You're not able to pick her up with all of her gear and everything.
You know, I feel like if we wanted to be annoying, which I do all the time, you know, you can sometimes individually lift stuff more than you can constantly carry
it's not like
stuff.
Carrying,
you know?
maybe semantics involved, but maybe not carrying. But can I? Because there's the lift weight. Can I just like pick her up and just like try to hold on to the rope?
I'd also probably use my strength to hold
because
him
my
as
carry
well.
capacity is 315 pounds, but my push, drag, or lift carrying capacity is 630.
Where does that come from?
It's a different calculation because I was like, I just wanted to, because while you were looking that up, I went to D&D Beyond, and there's a different weight limits for encumbrance, which is weird. So it's like there's a carrying capacity of 315 pounds, but I have a push, drag, or lift capacity of 630, which I guess is doubled from what I can carry.
Everyone has that?
I guess so.
Mahkah's gonna say to Kenway, Kenway, you might not like this, but just go with it. Just go with it. He wants to polymorph Kenway into a giant ape.
Oh, okay. Great, we're gonna do King Kong.
Grab Alina and get the hell up here now.
We are now reenacting Donkey Kong. This is great.
Okay, I'm sure that that a giant ape. I mean, I don't know. That sounds good to me. You can definitely do that. But as the giant ape, you'll need to still give me an athletics check to climb up here. Does this? No, this has a climb speed. That's fine. You don't need to make a check. You can shimmy up the rope. Just as the last one of these snails, Lulu's like,
I think those snails are called bone whelks.
It's so handy having Lulu around. Just as one of these bone whelks just gets right to the edge and appears as though it would have attacked you in whatever way it would attack you.
Keep going. Get up there. And Mark just slaps him on the ass to go. Keep
and you know what?
I'm clean.
Just for the bit, I will continue to carry Alina up there. Just like continue going up there.
I can you imagine Alina making that same face.
Wait, so you continue climbing? Yeah, because I mean, you got to climb. Having said that, though, there's not much to grab on to. So are you saying you're going to climb? You're going to carry Alina all the way to the top?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, because I mean, you've got like these like elevated doors. There's a couple of holes. You can like, how far can it jump? Probably going to be fine. I think I don't see why.
Because I think what's the strength modifier for like what was the creature you transformed into?
Giant ape.
All right.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm looking at an ape. Giant ape. Wait, I don't think I have a giant ape in here. Wait, can you turn someone into a giant ape?
Well, it needs to be this. Then a giant gorilla. Sorry, giant ape's a bit large. I think it's a CR7 that's way too big. I think.
Wait, I don't have a gorilla either.
Because the CR is whatever the level of the character is, so we're fine.
Yeah, so
of what you can summon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Is it?
I got a straight. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What spell are you using? Sorry. Polymorph. Oh, okay, sorry. I see.
But it's equal to Kensei's CR rating.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, I have a strength score of 23 right now.
Okay, cool.
Which is definitely
I will say that you can do that. You can jump from the from these elevator doors to these holes back and forth a couple of times, and then sort of leap up. I mean, you're doing it with one hand. You're carrying like Alina, but I'll say that you can do that. You can carry her up in this fashion up to the top of the elevator shaft, and the door at the top is like, sort of only a little bit open, but with that amount of strength, well, holding Alina, you would have to like kind of put Alina down and then wrench open this door, and you can do that, and then you can both crawl onto this top floor.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna quietly say, "This is a great look for you." Knowing he can't say shit.
But he kind of like the Kenway ape Kenway kind of like looks down and just like
pushes her off.
That will be the end of your life. Shake your ass.
I really so bad want to do that now.
Sorry, I shouldn't have interfered.
I get one action. Do it.
But yeah, so he will just kind of like make the sort of like a little bit of noise. You just kind of like look down and you just see Kenway just speaking up, just like I don't know why I'm doing 8 monkey noises, but he just just like excited noises, like he made it up, and just like big claw clap. Yeah.
Like Shut up!
Give me a stealth check. GM. Oh. GM ape. Okay.
Bad.
What does everyone else do?
As you're up there, Alina, Kenway is going to poke at your kind of like at your bag, and kind of like make a motion of like, just like the stretching motion.
Why the fuck would I stretch my bag?
Pokes you in the head.
But it is at this moment, as you're making that motion to Alina, that it suddenly dawns on Alina that she has climbing gear.
Oh.
Also, technically speaking, Kenway's the one that had the rope. Kenway's the one that's been polymorphed. He does not have his equipment.
Oh, I have 50 feet. How far did we go up? What's the distance?
90 feet.
Oh, well. I look down and be like, you're on your own. Nothing I can do. My mage hand doesn't go that far.
I can see that they're up the top there. I can actually drop polymorph on him now.
Whoa. What the fuck do I taste bananas all of a sudden?
Prestidigitation in your mouth.
Huh. Weird. What's better than what we've been having?
I didn't tell you to what.
I mean, fair enough. So yeah, it's like, all right, people find a sturdy place to tie this, sort of like one of the probably what would be considered like an exposed, like maybe like frame or beam, I guess, for the fortress, possibly, and like try to tie a rope to that for them to like have a sturdy way to climb up.
Also, you can kind of, like there's like a hole in the wall, and you can see like what looks like some sort of metal pipe in there, and you can tie it around that. It's just next to the elevator.
I wrap it around Kensei's waist as well. So you wrap it twice, and then anchor it with your arms and stuff.
Yep.
So
It's very polite of you. I actually thought you were going to say I wrap it around his neck.
Man, I don't know.
All right, so everyone that goes up this rope, give me an athletics check.
Okay, Mahkah, before we do that, Mahkah's not even going to... He doesn't want to back himself. He wants to wild shape into a giant spider to climb up.
All right.
Actually...
Can you put a saddle on a spider?
Yes, I was going to say, I'll drop the saddle if Ethel wants to...
Don't say mount you.
I was, yes, that was the choice words.
Don't worry, if you don't say it now, I'll say it in the recap.
I was just going to say, like...
if you want Ethel, you can mount me, that's fine. I'll put the saddle on the floor.
I was also going to say, I guess in that case, since the last person would be JL, we can tie... Oh, yep.
Don't worry about JL.
Okay. I love the fact we did this whole thing about trying to get a rope up, and everyone was like, yeah, fuck that.
Listen, we all found a way up, okay? It's fine.
Wait,
Ethel mounts Mahkah.
It is actually slanted as well. I keep kind of forgetting. So when you were like falling or whatever, you would have been sort of sliding, I guess. Maybe kind of falling from a bit of it, and that would have made it easier to jump up as the ape as well. And so the feather fall, that would have still come into effect, we'll say, but it's still like, but not quite vertical, so a little bit easier.
So I just need to do an athletics check if I want to go up this rope.
Yes.
I would like to do that. Oh wait, this is at disadvantage, isn't it?
Why? Oh, because you're exhausted.
Because of my exhaustion.
Yes.
Okay. I'll do this. How did I do? I didn't do so good.
Oh,
wait,
look.
Because you can't. Why? Okay. What was the idea?
Well, if I fell, then I'd just use levitate to levitate myself up.
Can you use it as a reaction?
No.
That's okay. I would say that some way down you'll have enough time to cast levitate as an action.
So I'm like just holding the rope, no weight's being added to it. I'm just like, and it's like some time has passed, like some seconds, and I'm looking at Alina. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Giant spider, Ethel climbs up. Well, that's good. What about jail slowly begins to cover up? Just like, oh, man, and gently floats down. I'm like, the fuck? Fine. Just pulls the rope up.
Okay, as you all make it onto this top level, you can look around, but you have made plenty of noise at this point. And so as you kind of see this, you identify the location of this, these rungs in the wall, this ladder leading up to this hatch. You see some of these. Lulu cries out, "Oh no, it's more bone whelks!" And you see 5 of these these large snail-like creatures sliding towards you on the ceiling and on the walls and on the floor. What are we going to do, Alina?
I was going to say, has it been longer than an hour doing all this?
Are you asking for passive out of chase?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Just
that got dropped from polymorph.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's concentration. Yeah. Okay, continue, sorry.
I'll say it's probably been like 45 minutes anyway, but yeah. Yeah, you see these things sliding towards you, so we'll go over to a snail map.
I'm definitely staying in wild shape with and Ethel can stay in the saddle if she likes.
Okay.
Back on the saddle again.
So this will be this elevator shaft. Let me see, how would this be? So I kind of imagined it this way. Maybe it would be more like, okay. So this is like the elevator door, and the ladder is like here, and you're in this hall that's kind of like this. And from what you can see, like looking around, there are these kind of passageways and rooms on either side. So these would be like a bunch of rooms here that just have like various strange equipment in them and such. And so you should be able to drag yourselves onto the map.
How tall was the ceiling in here again as well?
10 feet.
Did you say 10 feet? 10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these are just like these big doors on either side. Okay. I'll say that this thing is here. This one is going to be on the ground. This one here is on the wall, like 5 feet up. All right. Oops. And Lulu, I'll just drag Lulu on. We also have... Are the slime homunculi with you?
No, I would assume we leave them in the vehicle.
God.
Okay.
We leave them in the car with the windows cracked. Actually, or the windows closed. I guess that would actually make it less hot. I don't know.
It's the windows.
This monodrone can fly, so it just flew up with these little wings extending from the top of its head and its legs and arms dangling below it, and it just lands like here. And
I'm gonna be so upset if you kill my monodrone that hasn't done anything this whole time.
I want to kill it, it's annoying. Let's roll. Yeah, these things, I don't know, they might attack it. They don't know what it is.
So, question for Adrian.
Yep.
Alina had Vigilant Blessing. Now, in the Doom, that was the Doom's initiative. So she'll have advantage until she uses her next initiative. Or would it be burned like the last battle? Like, I gave her Vigilant Blessing before we had the fight downstairs.
Right.
But the initiative roll was from the Doom, not from Alina.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's okay.
Because it lasts until your next. Okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
I can roll again?
Yeah, go for it.
Wait, what?
That was me, Giant Spider.
Oh.
That was me, yeah.
I am so... Did I roll again? I'm hella confused. I pressed the button and...
Oh, maybe you were holding the... Maybe you had the Giant Spider select. No, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, no, that was actually me. I didn't roll.
Oh, it's not rolling.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. I was like, I swear I pressed it. I'll restart.
Okay.
But you're already the first one.
Oh, yeah, you're the first one anyway.
But still, it's the thought that counts.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, I don't think I was going to work anyway, so...
Okay.
I'm coming back. Load it. I'm obviously going to attack something. Okay. Where am I? I will attack the closest one. Okay. And with my silver short sword with booming blade.
$27 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this thing is on the ceiling. You can jump up and hit it. It's fine. You can still do that. It's upside down, but it's like big enough that you can do that. You don't even have to jump, I don't think.
Okay. Booming blade cast. It's versatile, right? It's been a while since I've been able to actually cast this. Damage versatile for the on-hit damage.
Just
damage.
I think use the one at the top. I'll delete these two. Every time I load your character and it adds those extra ones.
0 plus 2d8.
I think it's probably you're at level 11. Yeah, 2d8.
Okay. Weird.
Damage target on a hit.
Okay.
Target takes from increased by 2d8. I'm really confused. Doesn't it increase by 2d8? So it's actually 3d8? I also need to fix that booming blade.
Yeah.
This spell's damage increases. Let me see. Hold on. On a hit, the target suffers the weapon's attacks as normal. If it moves. Okay, this spell's damage increases when you reach certain levels. At 5th level, the melee attack deals an extra 1d8 thunder damage to the target on the hit. The damage the target takes for moving increases to 2d8. Both damage rolls increase by 1d8 so that would make it 2d8 at level 11. So yes, 2d8 is correct.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So I'm going to disengage out.
Did you do damage for the actual attack?
No.
Yeah, she just did the thunder.
Yeah, I just got excited because I could use booming blade again.
Okay, another 10 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, Ethel.
Slot. I'm gonna summon slot. I heard right here behind this guy.
Same.
Like, whoa.
I'll have to fix that booming blade later. And now I fucked it up by deleting your other ones. I apologize. What were you doing, Ethel? Sorry?
I was summoning slot right here.
Oh, you should be able to drag it in.
Oh, well,
think. Should work.
That's
all right. I'll add it. There?
Perfect. No, on the other side right here.
Okay.
I think I can see that. I don't know, I guess how big this snail is, but...
Anything else?
Then I can have it attack. This goes right after me.
That's a hit.
16. Nice. And then 13 damage, and then that's it for me.
It can make 2 attacks.
Right. I love that you're here. I'd be so much worse at D&D. That one's at 11.
That one misses.
All right.
This thing just appears on the other side of the bone whelk and takes 2 swipes at it with its claws, and some of its bones are kind of like loosened from its back as it scrapes across them. It's kind of appeared behind it as it's sort of sliming along the ground towards you. Kensei, Kenway.
I'm gonna move up here, so 5, 10.
I'm just gonna test
16.
this. Ignore this.
Ignoring. And I will bring up the cold man.
Oh my god. What have I done?
Oh, okay, that was weird. I brought when I was bringing out the cold man, it brought up the image of Kensei Kenway. I was like, I'm not summoning a copy. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna use the free action to move him a little bit closer, like right here. And I am going.
Sorry. My bad. I've just been trying to fix Alina's booming blade this whole time. Alina, we're gonna have to do it manually because I can't seem to work out how to fix it in the heat of battle. Sorry, Kensei Kenway. That was very rude.
No problem.
Very rude.
Due to technical difficulties, we'll just try to kill this thing extra harder.
Okay.
So I will make a couple attacks with my Kanabo one.
Alright.
Sorry. First one. Hiya! Oh, wait. Hiya! No, shit. God damn. Okay, yeah.
Nope.
Alright. Nope. Second one.
13 hits.
Cool.
Nice. 14 bludgeoning is enough to just smash its head in. And it just remains on the ceiling with its head like dangling down. It just goes lifeless, and all of this like black gooey blood is just like pouring out of where its head has been like smashed.
Alright. And that will be my turn.
Okay. This one on the wall is going to, well, I guess it's on the ceiling, but then it kind of moves down to the wall as it moves over to here. And it can only move, I guess it's going to dash basically over to here as it sort of climbs along the wall. Okay, Monodrone doesn't do anything. Jean Lemoore. I'm getting rid of that.
No!
Wait, Monodrone is leaving?
Find another one.
Oh no, the Monodrone is there. It's just not in the initiative.
Oh, right. I would like to cast a spell. I would like to cast a spell on myself. Okay. Is speak to animals. And I'm gonna ask this guy, or talk to this guy and say, tell me how to get to top. Or else.
Okay.
Or else.
All right.
And I cast on that guy because he would have seen his friend just like get squished.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, and Bardic Inspo. I will Bardic Inspo someone. Who's next? Sorry.
Giant spider.
Mahkah.
Okay. Mahkah spider.
Like spider. Just to confirm, Ethel, are you still in the saddle?
Yes. Okay. I wasn't sure. I can just...
Yep, just making sure.
I'll just... yeah.
Mahkah will attempt to bite with the... And use his bardic 1d8.
Okay.
Is it 1d8?
10.
Oh, 10. 1d10. Ooh.
That hits.
And there's some poison conditions. I'm not sure if it has immunities, resistances as well.
Okay, let me see. It's gonna feel that poison. It'll make a con save. So 21 piercing and poison. Fails the con save.
Nice. If it's not dead, it's paralyzed, I think. If the poison damage reduces the target to... Oh no, sorry.
Or half as much damage on a successful... if the poison damage reduces the target to 0 hit points, the target is stable but poisoned for 1 hour even after regaining hit points and is paralyzed by poison this way. That's confusing. Constitution saving throw taking 9 poison... Oh, it only takes the poison damage if it fails the con save, so it does take the poison damage. It looks like that other condition only affects it if it falls to 0. Yeah. Okay. Lulu.
Lulu is gonna come here and tusk this guy.
Okay.
Who's bloodied. She's got magic tusks.
Nice.
Oh, go Lulu.
Okay. 5 damage. Not enough to kill it. But she just like tusks it like under the kind of top part of its head, like into its neck, and like pulls her tusks out, and a bunch of this black blood like oozes out of it. Okay. This one here, as it slides into the room further, it does not reply to your attempt to communicate with it, Jean, unfortunately. It just goes ahead and attempts to bite the cold man. Mm-hmm. It sort of just leans forward in this big, almost like human-like mouth, but with these huge spiked teeth in it. Kind of opens up much wider than a human's would be able to. And tries to bite at this shadowy figure, but fails. Mm-hmm. Okay, this one here is going to turn and attempt to bite at the slard. What's the slard's AC?
That's a slard. Oh, I think it is 15.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Alina.
Perfect.
Oh shit! I just realized I forgot something when this other one died. This first, this one that went lifeless on the ceiling. It's kind of important for you to know that it can do this as well. So I am actually going to retcon that, if you don't mind waiting for a second, Alina. As it dies, it emitted a blood-curdling shriek.
Yeah.
It echoed through these corridors. And this causes organic material within 10 feet of the bone whelk to rot. Non-magical organic material. So each creature within 10 feet of the bone whelk, when it takes some necrotic damage, there's no creature nearby except for this other bone whelk. Each creature within 10 feet of the bone whelk, when it dies, takes 9 necrotic damage. These are not immune. So this is the only thing that will have been affected by this, is the other bone whelk. So, it took 13 extra damage. Okay, Alina.
Friendly fire.
I'm horrified.
Yeah, it's just like
absolutely horrified that there's like body parts flying everywhere, and I'm like, why? As I'm moving up to go kill this, like, please. I'll gingerly I can't get that. Wait, thank you. Okay. Booming blade, of course, as well.
That hits.
Ooh. Okay. I wish the cold man was a freaking creature, but cool, good enough.
I feel like a lot of people would be because it's like, finally it can be counting on spells. Fuck you, creature type.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking powerful.
Okay. Let's see if this one.
So 2d8. If I read it correctly. Always like under pressure in mid-game, I like try to read really quickly and I just, it's like I'm reading but I'm just not absorbing.
Sorry.
I'm like, wait, what did I just read? Okay, 19,
oh
wait,
my
that's an
god,
attack roll.
I know I did bad things. I'm okay. It's fine, everything's fine. I figured it out.
7 kills it as it goes down in this thunderous burst, but it is going to let out this death scream and do some necrotic damage. It does 9 necrotic damage.
Dang. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, there's no save for it or anything. Okay, Ethel.
I'm going to.
It's like weirdly human or something. Like.
That's so uncomfortable. I'm gonna firebolt the one that's fighting the slot.
Okay.
Slot. Feels like a chant I would do if I was like a D&D frat boy.
Slot. The fireball.
Slot.
Fireball hits. Firebolt. It sounds almost exactly the same as probably the chant that is made by a frat boy. 20 fire damage. This thing goes down, and it's going to let out death scream. So it does 11 necrotic damage to the aberrant spirit and to the bone whelk next to it, which also dies, letting off another strangely human shrill. Which does 13 damage to Lulu, giant spider, Ethel, and that slot is okay that time.
I have just a genuine question. Does the slot count as an organic material thing?
I'm sick of all these ingenuine questions, but that's good.
Listen, I do sometimes have ingenuine questions.
What was the question? Sorry, is the slot a what? An organic thing?
Yeah, is this slot organic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't like that. 0 out of 10.
But we're out of combat anyway.
Did the slots have anything in their bones?
No! Slot disappeared.
Yeah, you don't find anything
Rest in peace,
amongst the
Slot.
bones.
I was hoping he would stick around.
Oh.
Rest in peace, Slod. Wait, did the Slod die?
Oh, she lost.
No, I lost concentration.
Oh, gotcha. Sweet. Well, not sweet.
Slide later.
What?
Okay. So, yeah, you're able to sort of rummage through these sticky, gooey corpses. You don't find anything in there. You find some human skulls and other like humanoid skulls and other strange bones. You don't know where they came from, but otherwise, nothing that looks valuable.
I'll be honest, I want to face more things like that, because if they killed themselves or others in their death scream, like, that just makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah, until they chain blow up and kill us all.
Well, don't get close.
I don't know if it was intended to do that, but it doesn't say that it's resistant to its own scream, so...
They're so stupid.
It is very funny that it could set off a chain of them, like, you know,
dying.
I'll probably realize something later that it says that it doesn't do that. I don't know.
It's still pretty cool, though. I actually think it's a good mechanic because it could really screw other people up around it.
Yeah, can I make some ear, like wax ear things for Lulu? I think Mahkah maybe had some wax.
Yeah.
Oh, from candle. Oh, wait, I have candles.
Yeah, you can, if you want to like use up a candle, you can sort of melt some. Like I think I let Mahkah do it mid-combat, but I'm thinking probably, I don't know how. It would be a little bit of a slow process now that I think about it, because you would need to probably use one candle or one like source of heat to melt another candle.
Doesn't I was gonna say, it just sounds like his body parts touching you rot your skin. It's not even the scream.
Oh, is it for the death scream?
Yeah, the shriek causes the non-magical organic material. I can't. Oh, I guess it's not it blowing up into pieces. It does it. It's the.
It's the shriek.
Weird.
It doesn't say anything about you needing to hear it.
Yes, weird.
Oh.
But you don't know that though. Jean Lemore doesn't know that.
That's true. I think, yeah. Does anyone else want earwax?
Did you burn
earwax? No.
Earwax.
I definitely do not want your earwax.
Anyone want some of my earwax?
Ethel reaches out to put some in a vial, and it's just like we tried some weird experiments.
Some for Ethel. Some for Ethel.
Okay. Are you? If you're going to do that, though, I mean, you know, I think this is kind of what I was saying, like a few sessions ago. Like, there's some level of metagaming when you're reading the spells and such that is like completely unavoidable. So it's okay if you don't want to make this wax. It's up to you.
I'm gonna go for it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be hard of hearing.
All right. So just make sure you use up 2 candles.
3 candles.
3 candles. Okay. Why 3 candles?
Ethel wanted some.
He's got big ears.
No, that's true. That's true.
Like, full candle for 1 ear.
I was just gonna say, like, are you not telling us something here, Jean Lemore?
You have a 3rd ear, or you wanted it for some other orifice?
Always
okay.
protect the butthole.
I'm glad you said it, because I didn't know what we were talking about. I wasn't sure. Okay.
Are you gassed?
Okay.
I feel like that was gonna be a thing of like Adrian was gonna look back at this video like as he's like uploading this, and he's just like, oh, that's what they mean.
Nope. Oh, yeah, that's very clear. Very, very clear. Okay. So you are now able at this point to climb up these rungs to this hatch. You can turn the hatch and open it quite easily and climb up into this room.
Oh.
So weird being on a map with characters.
So you can see in here. Oh, Mahkah, are you still a spider though? Or did you?
You know what? I might stay a spider.
Stay a spider?
Yeah.
Things are about to get cramped.
Did you transform yourself before?
Yeah, I used the wild shape.
Oh, nice. I just don't remember dragging the spider onto. As in, did you do it like mechanically?
Yeah, I just dropped it in.
Awesome. Okay. I'll let you do that then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you find yourself in this room. You see these jagged gashes in the outer wall, which allows some of the light from the hellish red sky of Avernus to filter into this room. So it's fairly well lit in here. Yeah, you've just climbed out of this hatch, which is like under where Alina is. The only thing you can see in this room is this strange metal console here that is like just on this one wall. Otherwise, there's not much else in this room, but the floor does still slope downwards to the eastern side. That would have actually caused difficult terrain in that previous map. I don't know if anyone really moved that much anyway, so... but yeah. I think at this point we might as well leave it here as you emerge in this little room. And
In
yeah,
the side eye,
pick it up
look
next
at
week.
look at the party and look at this thing with buttons on it. And be like,
Press one of the buttons.
session ends with Alina very close to pressing one of the buttons.
Like a millimeter away from the button, like in movement, and then the credits roll. Tune in next week to find out if Alina presses the button.
Well, we don't. Well,
Does it
some of the
blow
next week,
everyone
we have to worry about a couple-week break towards the end of the campaign, or it all just ends next session.
The best part is, I'm not here next session. So.
Oh, because you're dead? Because you pressed the button?